Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, all over the world and here at Emirates at Old Trafford to the Vitality Blast North Group game between the Lancashire Lightning and the Derbyshire Falcons. But that is yet to be part one of two. What a big two it is today. A historic day here at Emirates Old Trafford with the Thunder playing in the prime time slot a little bit later on. Both matches here on Lancs TV over the course of what will be a marathon and exciting day of T20 cricket. We'll have the toss in just a moment out here in the middle, but first of all I want to introduce you to our two guests who represent both male and female like the day's cricket. So hello to Alex Hartley and to Stuart Law. Welcome back to Emirates Old Trafford. Stuart, lovely to see you, but Alex, later on you will be involved in a game which is making just a little bit of history, but a significant piece nonetheless.
Yeah, it's really exciting to get the opportunity to play in that prime time. I've seen a lot of people saying it's not the first time it's happened, but it is. It's the first time we're playing on the prime time TV slot or the Lancs TV slot, so I'm hoping you lot that are here are going to stay for our game at 7 o'clock.
Absolutely right. It won't just be me saying that. That's good. We can plug it, both of us, over the course of the next wee while. Stuart, welcome back. I appreciate you have a little hand in both camps over the course of your career with both Lancashire and Derbyshire playing this afternoon. It has been an excellent start to the Lightning's campaign so far, but also the Falcons, both winning 2 out of 3 and looking good ahead of this one.
Yeah, it has. Lancs have really gone on after that exciting tie against, or in the Roses game against Yorkshire. And last night's convincing win at Trent Bridge was an outstanding effort. Derbyshire, they're a good team. They're run by a pretty good, coach in Mickey Arthur. So, it's going to be a good contest.
He can hear that, which is probably why you're saying that, given that you've shared plenty of time together in the past. But in terms of the way that this Vitality Blast is open for these two teams, it is, and we talk about it a lot, if you start well, you can lay such a strong foundation that it sends you through to almost the quarterfinals without even thinking about it.
Yeah, the number one thing is to qualify. So early on, the amount of wins you get is very important. You start strong, and both teams have done that. So tonight's a cracker.
Alex, perhaps you can give us a little bit of an insight on what it's like for the guys who came back from Trent Bridge and arrived in their beds at about 2 a.m, something like that, and here they are playing in the earlier slot because, as we've just discussed, it's reversed today, but yet they have to get up and they have to play against a very good Falcons side today.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to do. There was a bit of rain around last night as well for the lads' game, so it was a later finish than planned. Then you do have to get up earlier and play in this 3 o'clock game, so I apologise, but it's happened now and they get their game out the way early, so yeah.
We will work through those bleary eyes as the next few minutes progress. Alex and Stuart will be back with you a little bit later on, but it is time in the middle here for the toss. Dane, hello, well done. You've won the toss again and you're going to do, I think, what we might predict you want to do on this deck.
Yeah, we're going to have a bat first, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that decision, and is it as easy today as it is often when you play here?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's always, it's very good. Yeah, it's what we like to do here, and I think it's a nice pitch, get first use of it, and hopefully we can put another big score on the board.
Now, I know you didn't win the toss last night, but you did bat first. You've been incredibly consistent with the totals that you provided. 183 twice, 178 last night. I appreciate the victories, the two of them were a little bit different, but still, you must be pleased with the way that you have been batting first, given it's happened each time.
Yeah, we've been batting very well. Hopefully all the guys have been putting their hands up in certain situations. We've had some good match-winning performances from all the batters, and all the guys have sort of chipped in when they needed to. So hopefully we can continue that. Everybody seems to be in good form with the batters. They've got some high confidence. So yeah, we're looking to hopefully to another good performance today.
From not least what happened last night, which was an extraordinary victory against a very good side at a place where you don't often win.
Exactly, to go there and get 2 points is always difficult and very hard, and they're a very good side. They go all the way with the bat and the ball, so it was nice to go there and put on such a convincing performance for us. It was excellent.
And hence, any team changes?
No, we're the same team as the night. It's a quick turnaround, so it'd be hard to leave anyone out from the good performance.
All right then, Dane, thank you very much indeed. Go well. That's Dane Villas, the Lancashire Lightning captain. We'll bring in Sean Masood here, who's dutifully waited. Thank you very much indeed. Sean, you've started your season, as we mentioned to Stuart Law, really well as well. 2 wins out of 3. You arrived with a little bit more sleep, I think, just because your game was shortened, but still a quick turnaround for you guys too.
Yeah, I think when you look at the fixture list, I mean, these are the top 2 teams in the division, along with Notts, and it was good to have a good start, win at Leeds, and we're playing a good side in their home conditions, so it should be a good challenge for us.
How do you feel about chasing today?
We would have liked to bat first, but look, I mean, that's cricket. The toss is just one part of the game. We'll hopefully look to restrict them and hopefully have a good result in our end.
A lot of people here will be familiar with the name Wayne Madsen because he's played obviously for the Manchester Originals. He will again, and he has played here for Derbyshire as well. But 400th game it was for you guys last night. A word about him and the contribution he's making.
Well, 400, and looks like he can play another 400. He's that fit, he's that determined, and just keeps churning out performances. He's a very important player in our setup, a leader, and we hope to get the best out of him in the coming games.
I know you only had 8 overs aside last night, but any changes in your team?
Same team.
Same team. Makes it easy for all of us. Sean, go well. Thank you very much indeed. So that's Sean Masood, the Derbyshire Falcons captain. The news from the toss is that the Lancashire Lightning have won it, and they will bat first. Now we're going to introduce you to Carla Threlfall, who I believe has been introducing herself to you.
So I'm here in the fan zone at Emirates Old Trafford, and we are making history today. It is all about women in sport. We've got the Thunder headlining today's double header later on, but we're going to get chatting to some fans here. I have got Libby and Bethany. Now girls, what are you most excited for here in the fan zone? What activities do you want to go on?
I really want to watch the women's because I feel like the women's can be really good and they can be as good as the men's.
Yeah, definitely. Do you play any cricket or any other sports that you like doing?
I like to watch cricket.
You like to watch it. Perfect. And Beth, do you play cricket?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So do you okay, I presume you're looking forward to the women,
Yeah.
especially later on. And what kind of, are you a batter? What's your thing?
I'm a bowler.
Bowler, perfect. Yeah. So we'll be, I'm sure you'll be out there in a couple of years showing them how it's done, won't you? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you will be. Now, Mum, what's it kind of for you to bring the girls along, and especially on a day like today where we've got the women alongside the men as well?
I just think it's amazing. We love watching cricket. We watch quite a lot of games here at Old Trafford, but I just find it's really important, especially when the women are headlining. It's just great fun, such a fun day. It's good to come along. We love it as a whole family, and it just means that we're enjoying something together that's kind of out the house, but also getting to see women in sport, which I just think is incredible.
Yeah, but perfect. Thank you very much. So we've definitely got 3 here that's going to be cheering on the Thunder later on.
So much to look forward to. If you are watching Lancashire Lightning for the first time today, you will know already about the exploits of the overseas star of the Lightning and the T20 Blast, and that is Tim David. Hello, Tim. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Still waking up after a very late night last night.
Yeah, quick turnaround for today, but it's good the sun's shining, so it's good to be here.
You're a typical Aussie who takes power from the sunshine and allows you to regenerate in time. I tell you what, the first 3 games, and you've played your part in them, of course, have been pretty stellar for Lancashire so far, but particularly that game at Trent Bridge, where the team hasn't won for some 13 years, and yet to do it so comprehensively, it must have been a great night for the team.
Yeah, it was. I think we came out with our guns blazing with the ball in the second innings, and it was just great to put on a show like that. So that's great for our confidence. You know, we've got 2 wins from our first 3 games, and we're looking to make it 3 today.
And how much have you enjoyed your settling in process? I'm going to say that 3 games is enough to settle in. Is that a fair enough assessment?
Yeah, well, it's hit the ground running pretty much. So, no, it's great to be here. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season, and the lads have welcomed me, so it's been really good fun so far.
Now, a lot of the Lancashire's overseas stars in this competition have been batters, but they've often been top of the order batters. So there's kind of been a change of approach to try and bring in somebody who is that finisher, that middle order powerhouse. So I suppose when the conversations were had with Glenn Chappell, the coach, they were very much, can you be that person and play that role?
Yeah, it's something I've been doing in various competitions for the last year now. So we've got a powerhouse batting lineup. You know, we've got Salty here being a clown just behind you. So I'm looking forward to watching him bat. I'm sure there's a big score around the corner for him. Sure, you know, Livy's due. So, you know, there's other guys in that batting lineup. And just for me to come and complement that and do what I've been doing in various competitions, that hopefully there'll be opportunities to bat a little bit more. There was yesterday. I didn't make the most of it. But, you know, it's just an exciting time to be around this group.
A crucial role, though, played in the last game that we had here at Emirates Old Trafford. 60 off almost half the balls. So that was the kind of innings that I guess you'd want to play and that we should maybe expect from you.
Yeah, obviously I was really pleased to put in an important performance for the team because we maybe lost a few wickets too early. Ideally for me, I'd like to hit a few more sixes, but you know, that might just happen. Maybe if we try too hard, it doesn't. So yeah.
Tim, you are a needy person. You need more sixes than what you managed to hit.
You're right,
It'd
I do need them.
This short boundary here today because of where the pitch is. Are you eyeing that up?
I haven't been out to look in the middle yet, but I'm sure it'll be in the back of my mind.
And the final point about just being somewhere like Lancashire in a tournament like the Vitality Blast, having the experience that you do with those T20 franchises, how do you kind of contrast and compare the experience you've had so far?
Yeah, it's obviously a great setup. You know, we've got a beautiful ground, and the backroom staff have all put you know, a top-class program together. I think just with the way the schedule is, it's hard to be as intense as some of the franchise tournaments. You know, playing so many games in such a short block. And I know the lads have a 4-day game coming up next week in the middle, but at the same time, it's just about staying fresh for the game, put your best performance in, and you know, there's still some really exciting stuff to come.
There is indeed, and we hope you play your part in it too. Tim, go well, and
Thanks
nice to meet you. So we start at 3 o'clock in this first of two back-to-back matches here at Emirates at Old Trafford. Welcome to all of you inside the stadium and indeed on Lancs TV, watching not only this one between the Lightning and the Falcons, and later as well we have the Thunder against the Southern Vipers in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. So the two teams have been confirmed. Let's bring them to you now. We'll start with the Falcons. They are unchanged from their game last night when they beat the Yorkshire at Headingley with a reduced game, just 8 overs aside, winning by 9 wickets. Shan Masood is the captain. Lewis Rees returning to Emirates Old Trafford once again. Wayne Madsen the same for him too. Harry Kame, Leus Duploy, Brooke Guest, Matty McKiernan, Hayden Kerr, Mark Watts returning to Old Trafford too, Sam Connors and George Scrimshaw. And for the Lancashire Lightning, also unchanged after their trip and a successful one too, to Trent Bridge, it's Phil Saltz, Keaton Jennings, Liam Livingston, Tim David, Dane Villas the captain, Stephen Croft, Danny Lamb, Luke Wood, Tom Hartley, Richard Gleeson and Matt Parkinson. So Lancashire Lightning have won the toss and they're going to bat first, and that has, Alex Hartley, been the way of great success over the course of the first 3 games. But genuinely, every time you see that coin go up and it land, and Dane Villas being the one speaking, you know he's going to say bat first. Is there ever an example or a situation where you don't bat first on this pitch?
I don't think so. A wicket. It normally is, especially with the double headers, with it being a fresh pitch, with the batting lineup that Lancs have got. Always bat first. They could get 200 on a wicket like that, and especially with that short boundary.
Yeah, that is a particularly enticing hit, is it not, Stuart? We just mentioned to Tim David, didn't we, about that short boundary because of where the pitch is today. Are we going to lose some balls in the building site?
Yeah, I do hope the workmen have got hard hats on. I think they have, from what I can see here. But as you know, Alex said, the wicket here at Old Trafford traditionally has always been very good for batting. Southern Hemisphere captain as well. Win the toss, you think about batting and then you bat. So it's no surprise that Lancashire are batting first. For middle, as you say, you know, put a score on the board, and then they got great spin to strangle, which is traditionally what happens here.
Tell us about Tim David, because he's a guy that a lot of people who watch T20 franchise cricket will know about, but if they just keep their eyes on the Australian international team, they haven't yet seen much of. So you know him well enough to tell us all about the skills that he brings to this Lightning side.
Yeah, I don't know him personally, but I've seen him play a lot of cricket in the Big Bash, now the IPL, and he's played in, you know, World Cup qualifiers with Singapore. You know, he's to us, he's Australian. He's from Perth, but such a big man. He possesses so much power. He can hit the ball just as far as anyone going in world cricket. He started here really well, hasn't he? He's come in and he's not taken too many balls. He scored his runs. He's hit the sixes. He entertained the crowd. But it's a tremendous story as well. You know, to get into this type of cricket, not going through the traditional pathway, and he's come out the other end, and he's now you know, targeted by franchises worldwide to come and play T20 cricket for them.
Very often you use the words long levers, and very rarely is it more suitable for a guy like that. And Alex as well, the thing that we mentioned to Tim about having a finisher in the side, because a lot of the time Lancashire have decided with their overseas picks to bolster the top of the order. But if you think about the players having now signed Phil Salt in particular that are already here, don't need that. You need somebody to come in and sort out the last 5 or 6 overs, but even maybe more as well.
Yeah, if you look at the overseas that Lancs had last year with Finn Allen at the top of the order, they had a really, really powerful top 4, and then after that, you knew if you got them 2 or 3 down early on, they could have been in trouble, whereas now, you get them 2 or 3 down early on, you've still got Tim David to come in, and which is the scary thing. He's so flexible, along with Liam Livingston. Both of them can bat anywhere from 3 right down to 8, depending on the game situation.
And it's been that way, hasn't it? The batting lineup has shifted depending on what's been going on. I just wanted to have a mention for Keaton Jennings, because we've been talking about the top of the order. He is a player who many would consider, because of his Test cricket past and the way that he played at Durham before he joined the Lightning, that he is a non-traditional T20 batsman, and yet you look at what he has done. He has the best average of any T20 batter for the Lancashire Lightning over the years in this competition. He is so steady, yes, but last night showed he can hit it too. He is a real all-round batter.
Yeah, he is. I think he gets overlooked because his England numbers haven't been that great, and people say, oh, it's just Keaton Jennings, he's a Test batter, but he's not. He's adaptable. He can play in any situation, in any format, and I think yesterday in particular showed what he is capable of, and the fact that he's been so key for Lancashire of getting off to good starts and then being able to adapt throughout the game and being able to adapt his innings. He's been brilliant for them, and the fact he can then go out and hit sixes is even more exciting.
Yeah, 55 off 37 at Trent Bridge last night for Keaton Jennings. And you as a batter of great repute, you will appreciate that even though the tradition these days is to have a Phil Salt at the top of the order, Lancs have obviously realised that there's a great benefit in having those big hitters pivoting around somebody as steady as Keaton Jennings.
Yeah, the way you set up your teams traditionally is, you know, you have your big hitters at the top and, you know, an anchor in about 3 or 4, but they've got the anchor at the top with Keaton Jennings. So, you know, I'm a big believer your best players are your best players, no matter what format. I was lucky enough to work with a guy called Mahela J. Awardner. You know, the smallest man going around, but he'd bat 4 in Test cricket, open the batting in white ball cricket, and hit the ball just as far as anyone. So he did that through power that he had, but he got his power through good technique. Keaton Jennings is the same. He's a bit bigger than Mahela, but he hits it a lot further when he gets it going. But you know, he's a traditionalist, but he can adapt, and they're your best players. Your best players adapt to the situations.
And that's what you want from a coaching perspective, because it always fascinates me as a T20 coach, particularly the coach of a side that has to do all formats. You have to, do you have to change your message for a person that you've told something completely different to the week before when they played a county championship match?
I think the player works it out themselves. For me, the shorter the format, it's just an opportunity to go and express yourself. You can show the skills that you've acquired over the time that you've been a professional cricketer. You just get the opportunity to play your shots a bit earlier. You know, championship cricket's completely different. Take it away, and in a championship innings too, you're also able to play the 50-over cricket and the T20 cricket within those championship innings, depending on the game situation. You might need to chase down 200 in a session on the last day, and that's when you pull out your T20 stuff. So cricket's it's a sport that, you know, can demand specific skills, But if you've got all the skills, you can adapt them to any format, and you know the best players do that. He's lucky; he's got the guys like Phil Salt, Tim David coming in down below. He can just go about playing cricket. He can accelerate when he wants to, but he's got the power around him.
Well, Stuart, Alex, we'll see you again a little bit later on. And we'll be speaking to Carla in just a moment. But first of all, remind you of the T20 Blast rules.
Each match is played by 2 teams of 11 players. Some are batters, some are bowlers, and there's 1 wicket-keeper. Both teams have a chance to bat and bowl. Look out for the coin toss. That's how they decide which team bats or bowls first. Each team has 20 overs to score as many runs as possible. The team with the most runs wins the game. 1 over is made up of 6 good deliveries from the bowler. To score runs, batters hit the ball and run between the stumps. If the ball reaches the boundary, it's 4 runs, and if it gets there without bouncing, that's a 6. While the batting team are scoring runs, the bowling team are trying to stop them and get the batters out by taking wickets. A few ways batters can be out are bowled, caught, run out, stumped, and LBW. Watch out for signals from the umpires, 4s, 6s, wickets, and these when a bad delivery has been bowled. Bad deliveries add runs to the batting team's score, and the bowler must bowl an extra ball. If you see the umpire doing this, the next ball is a free hit, and the batter cannot be out, bowled, caught, LBW, or stumped. And those are all the basics you need to know to get behind your team in this year's Vitality Blast competition.
I am here in the stands and we are getting so excited for the game. We've got Lancashire batting first, but let's see what these fans all think. So guys, how excited are you for not just the men's game, but the women later on?
Really excited.
And who do you think is going to win both of them?
Lancashire.
Lancashire, of course it's going to be Lancashire. Now, you were telling me before, in fact, the 3 of you, that you all play some cricket. So, what positions do you play in? What kind of tips do you think you can give the cricketers out there?
No sloppy fielding, and bowling on the wickets.
And do you have any tips? What's your favourite position to play in?
My favourite position is fielding.
Fielding. Do you get a lot of catches?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you would do. And how about you? What's some tips?
I like playing at the back.
You like playing at the back? And what tips would you give the cricketers out here later on? Or you're just that good you can't think of anything off the top of your head? Yeah, I bet you're all absolutely brilliant. So I'm gonna come over here, please don't hate me, but what is it that you just love about bringing the kids to Lancashire?
It's just a really nice friendly atmosphere, absolutely, and the kids all love it. They can all just chill and have a good time, so yeah.
Yeah? So we're all going for a bit of a cheer for a Lancashire win? You do? Big cheer?
Yeah.
There enough. If you fancy coming along, we are here on Friday. It's Jubilee Bank Holiday, so you've got no excuse. Tickets are just £12 for adults and £1 for children. So come along, we've got another double header. You can get your tickets online now from no, you cannot. You can get them from lancashirecricket.co.uk/tickets. And we are going to love to see you here. But for now, we are going to bring the thunder.
Very nice to be back. My body's feeling it a little bit. We've had 4 weeks off, so yeah, just getting back to like the grind of county cricket again. But no, it's really good to see all the girls and seeing the winter that they've had as well. Hearing about Dubai, gutted I missed that one. But yeah, it's really nice to be back. Looking forward to getting going on Saturday. but we're looking forward to the challenge. Just excited to get going.
They are a tough side, and they're a very good side, and they've been together for a long time. So from that perspective, they're a pretty solid unit with bat, with ball, and in the field. So they perform really, really well. And we didn't really hit his straps with the bat. Had a decent power play, but after that we didn't bat the way we wanted to bat. And also, probably as a unit, didn't bowl the way we wanted to bowl, and his fielding was slightly off. So, yeah, I mean, the key to defeats is bouncing back in it as soon as you possibly can, and we talk a lot about taking the learning and moving on, and as long as we take that learning and apply it on Wednesday, then as a coaching team we'll be really, really happy. Obviously we want to win the game, there's no doubt about that, but for us it's all about the process and the performance and applying the learning that we've taken from the game on Saturday.
The Thunder will dominate the evening a little bit later on tonight. 7 o'clock start for the Thunder against the Southern Vipers. It is Lancashire Lightning against the Derbyshire Falcons to start us off this evening under slightly cloudy skies, but it's dry, which is the most important thing. Lancashire are unchanged. It's an easy job for the captain and the coach at the minute. They keep naming the same team, and they keep batting first. Alex Hartley is alongside me for the first 5 overs. Hello.
Hello.
You all right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has, hasn't it?
Hasn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's because you're jet-setting around the world doing all sorts of different things, and you're so busy and important these days.
It's quite nice being back behind the mic. I feel at home. This is what I'm meant to do.
Well, I'm delighted you're here for at least the first chunk of the men's fixture, and then later on, I know we'll be chatting loads about it, but later on is special, isn't it?
It is, it really is, especially because the crowd's building here this afternoon, and I'm hoping and praying that people stay down, because they've got no excuse. Bank holiday tomorrow, isn't it? So grab yourself a drink and sit yourself in for the rest of the day.
That was put to me a little bit earlier on, and I didn't think of it this way. It's almost like a Friday.
It is.
Because it's a long weekend.
It's a free Friday.
It's a bonus Friday.
Yeah, it is.
Everyone loves a free Friday. Right, what do you reckon about Lancashire's men's side here against Derbyshire Falcons? They're flying at the minute, aren't they?
They are flying at the minute. Do you know what? I really, really like the signing of Tim David. I think it really strengthens that batting lineup, and it makes everybody so adaptable, with having Phil Salt and Keaton Jennings at the top of the order, and then you've got Liam Livingston, Dane Villasticum, Stephen Croft. They can be so adaptable, can't they? And yesterday we saw, with a bit of weather around, that they went, right, all the big guns go at the top of the order, try and get as many runs on the board as we can, and then in previous games Tim David's coming in at 6 and 7 and really setting the world alight. So he's been fantastic for Lancs, and obviously with their bowling lineup as well. It's a question that we were talking about the other day. Would this Lancashire Lightning side beat the Manchester Originals? I genuinely think they would.
Yeah. That's quite exciting, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? They're such a good side.
It's quite a strong thing to say, but yeah, I'm quite liking that. Well, let's see what happens throughout the course of the afternoon to begin with. Derbyshire Falcons have had a good start to the blast as well. We're not a million miles away from the start of play here. There is a little bit of wind whipping around and a little bit of cloud cover above us, but fingers crossed we're set for a rain-free day and a double header on a day to remember here at Emirates Old Trafford.
Emirates Old Trafford, the iconic home of Lancashire cricket. We hope you enjoy your visit and today's match. On behalf of Emirates and Lancashire Cricket, we would like to thank you for your support of the Red Rose and wish you all the best across the season. Get ready, as it's now time to announce the teams. So strap yourself in for the ride and enjoy.
So this is your Lancashire Lightning team for today's match in the T20 Blast. Number 7, Phil Salt. Number 1, Keaton Jennings. Number 15, Stephen Croft. Number 23, Liam Livingston. Number 16, Tim David. Number 33, the captain, Dane Villas. Number 26, Danny Lamb. 14, Luke Wood. Number 2, Tom Hartley. 11, Richard Gleeson. And number 28, Matt Parkinson. So it's time to welcome onto the field the standing umpires for today's game between the Lancashire Lightning and the Derbyshire Falcons, Neil Mallender and Tim Robinson. Led by captain Sean Massoud, the Derbyshire Falcons. And opening the batting for the Lancashire Lightning, please welcome number 1, Keaton Jennings, and number 7, Phil Salt.
The batters are on the way out as well, Keaton Jennings and Phil Salt. And Derbyshire Falcons in their quite snazzy looking blue T20 strip. What do you reckon to this Lancashire strip, Alex Hartley? What colour are you describing that?
A washed out red turned into a salmon pink. But the best thing and the worst thing about this Lancashire strip is the Thunder, we don't wear it. But I was talking to Dane Villas about it, about when he lost his trousers the other day. I said, talk to me, when you dropped that catch against Yorkshire and your trousers fell down, what happened? He said, well, the trousers aren't that great quality. So I've gone to tie them, and as I've pulled the string, it's snapped. 3 games in a row it's happened.
Yeah.
Crofty lost his trousers yesterday.
He did, yeah.
Tim David on the boundary the other night, and then the captain against Yorkshire, so...
Lancashire pants down, is what we could refer to them as being. Let's hope they keep their trousers on tonight. It's not got off to a good start, this, has it, really? 0 for 0 then. We wait for the first ball of the match. We've got Phil Salt and Keaton Jennings on strike. And we've got a slip in place. The first of this double header, live from Emirates Old Trafford. It is Lightning against the Falcons. Here we go, let's get some cricket, shall we? Kerr coming in and bowling. And that's drilled for 4 down the ground by Phil Salt. What a great way to start.
Well, a lovely shot that from Phil Salt to open up his account. Just knocks the ball straight back past Kerr and the umpire for 4. As we can hear the music in the background, couldn't be a better start for Lancashire in their salmon kit.
Now, your teammate, Phoebe Graham's done a bit of commentary with us.
I'm a bit worried, you know. She's good at it.
She reckons it's coral, the coral-coloured strip.
You know what, she could be right.
Here's Kerr, in and balls to Salt. He might get 4 more. He does. Dive at mid-off, and the outcome's the same. Beyond the reach of the fielder, inside the circle at mid-off, and twice he's slapped it down the ground for 4.
It was just a little bit wider, that one from Kerr. He's actually got a deep backward point, so he's tried to push the ball across the right-hander, but Phil Salt's adjusted and again punched that straight back past mid-off for 4.
So 8 without loss, 2 balls into the first. There's Kerr from the Brian Statham end. He's back in and bowling, and Salt will drill it to mid-on, and Lewis Rees with the pick-up and throw towards the stumps. Salt gets through for a single, moves on to 9, as indeed the Lancashire Lightning. Brings Keaton Jennings on strike. He's had a good start to his Lancashire career, hasn't he, Phil Salt? But Salt, both in the Championship and in the Blast.
He has. He's been a really good signing. Obviously, Lancashire lost Alex Davis when he signed for Warwickshire, and I think they've matched the signing, really. You know, he's a good player, Phil Salt. Plays for Manchester in the 100 as well.
Yeah, he's got kind of northwest connections, hasn't he? He's a City fan, isn't he, I think?
Is he?
I think so.
I met his missus the other day. She's lovely as well, so I'm happy with the signing.
He's ticking all the boxes.
Yeah,
You've got a new mate.
Got another friend.
It's Kerr in and bowling. That's worked away by Jennings off the pads. Well, he's gone through for 1, and he's going to come back for 2. And that's quite decent running by Keaton Jennings. That sums up a lot about playing T20 cricket here, that, doesn't it? That shot, where you just knock it to the edge of the circle and run 2.
Yeah, big boundaries. Brought in quite a long way to our left-hand side. I do fear for the workmen that were knocking down that old red rose sweep.
As Jennings taps the bat with a slip in place, Kerr comes in and bowls, and Jennings drives to mid-off, but for no run.
Because they've done a fantastic job of knocking the building down. It's gone down relatively quickly. I think they've all clocked off for the day, and rightly so, because that is actually quite a small hit in men's cricket.
It's in the firing line, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm worried about if I have to bowl from this end later.
Yeah.
I might get knocked into that.
You won't get knocked into that. No chance. Kerr back in to Jennings. He's cutting the ball. He bounces out towards point, and he moves on to 3, and the score moves on to 12 without loss, and that's the first over done. That's quite a bright start, isn't it? 12 off the first over. That'll do for Lancashire Lightning.
Yeah, a lovely couple of shots for Phil Salt as well to start, and 12 off. The scorecard's behind. It says 11 on the telly.
Definitely going 12.
It's definitely 12.
Here we go. We're all caught up.
Oh, I like Mark Watt.
You fan?
Slow left arm union.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
You all stick together, do you?
We do. There's me, Mark Watt, Simon Kerrigan, Cal Parkinson.
Yeah.
All part of the slow left arm union.
You got a little WhatsApp group?
No, we haven't. But we do all like just message each other, being like, "Well bowled today." It's really sweet.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is. It's really it's sweet. But Mark Watt's got one of my favourite deliveries. He bowls from 10 yards behind the stumps. The long ball.
Well, let's see if he serves it up at some point. He's in and bowling this time, and Jennings from the crease trying to force the ball away into the offside, but for no run.
Played at Lancashire a couple of years ago as well.
Yeah, he did. What about that?
I think I was his biggest fan during the World Cup when he was playing for Scotland.
He's in and bowling, and Jennings muscles out through the onside. He's a man in the deep. So just a single. Jennings moves on to 4, 13 without loss. And I'm a big fan, and obviously I realise I'm sat next to you, so I've got to say this. I'm a big fan of a bowler with a slightly quirky action.
Yeah.
I like that as well.
Well, you might see tonight, Scott, my action has changed over the last 6 months.
What have you been doing?
I know. Well, I'm bowling all right at the minute as well. It's coming out nicely, but yeah, don't do the old arms, pirouette, whatever dance move anymore.
What's brought this on? This is a radical change.
I know. It's all come from another left-arm spinner, Stephen Parry, who's our coach. He said, that is just wasting so much energy. You don't need that.
Here's Watt to Salt. It's off the back foot and punches into the onside and gets through for a single and moves on to 10, 14 without loss.
So yeah, we decided to have a little change in the winter, which I was a bit worried about because I spent most of the winter away. So it was like this massive change. Then I've had that bowling action for 15 years.
Watt into Jennings, looks to try and reverse it. Doesn't make any contact. Through to the keeper, no run.
So the first few weeks it was really hard not to bring my arms up over my head and get ready to bowl the ball. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to put my feet up for the winter, and whatever happens when I get back, it's gone. It's just not there anymore. It's great.
I like this chill-out approach to changing your action. Jennings, again, looking to try and reverse swat it. Makes no contact with it. It wasn't a kind of full-on sweep, that was it, really?
More of the reverse. Oh, I'm not quite there. Let's dab it.
Yeah, the reverse dab from Keaton Jennings. 14 without loss. Final ball of the second over coming up. And he's hammered it over mid-on. And it will be 4 runs. It's a good way to end what was prior to it a pretty decent over for Watt. In the end, it's gone for 6, and Lancashire Lightning after 2 are 18 without loss.
Well, Mark Watt has pitched that outside the off stump to Keaton Jennings, and that was probably the ball that was there for Keaton Jennings to reverse sweep as the cover was up inside the ring. But he was able just to, he's got long levers as Keaton Jennings, to just get through the line of the ball and up and over mid-off.
So you've obviously spent some part of the winter working on this lack of twirly-twirly-twirliness. No?
Right, this is good. I can't out myself here because I told everyone I was training. I did 2 or 3 training sessions out in Australia, and I'm now a firm believer of best when fresh.
Just sums you up to a T. Here's Connors for the Derbyshire Falcons bowling, and that's clobbered up towards mid-off. For a second, I think Salt may have thought, oh, I might be in a spot of bother here, but it bounced safe. Salt gets 1, moves to 11, and Lancashire Lightning on 19 without loss. We're in the 3rd over. Live from Emirates Old Trafford on the BBC Sport website and app, Lancs TV, for this double header of a day. What a special day. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. I know there's another double header on Friday, but this feels, well,
this is the one.
It's extra special, isn't it?
We're playing the girls of the Thunder prime time.
Connors balls, and that's hit firmly, and that's 4 runs. You mentioned those long levers that Keaton Jennings has got on those. It was in full flow then, hit back over the bowler's head for 4.
But when people talk about Keaton Jennings, you often talk about proper cricket shots and red ball cricket. He's played, I think he goes under the radar quite a lot because his England career wasn't that successful. Yes, he did score that 100 in the subcontinent, but other than that, he then goes under the radar, and that was a beautiful cricket shot down the ground.
Takes him to 12, 23 without loss. Connors bowling in the end was a low full toss, which Jennings tries to paddle down towards fine leg, but just picks out the man inside the circle, and there's no run.
The low full toss there, and Keaton Jennings just tells Phil Salt that was the off cutter. He's taken a bit of pace off it, which was probably why it ended up being a full toss.
We're in the power play, so we've got 2 fielders outside the 30-metre circle. They're both on the leg side, one behind square and one at mid-wicket. Swing and a miss from Keaton Jennings. If he makes contact with that, that's coming to our commentary box, then, isn't it?
I've just been saying he plays lovely cricket shots, and he's tried a ramp and a big old heave. Come on, Keaton. That's another reason why I don't know what I'm talking about.
He does play lovely cricket shots.
He does.
He just occasionally puts in a ramp that he doesn't quite get right. Connors back in to Jennings. It's fallen wide of a stump. Again, a swing and a miss and through to the keeper. Got a good 50 last night in the game at Trent Bridge for Lancashire. Keaton Jennings kind of went under the radar a little bit because of the way that Notts got themselves into a complete mess in their innings, but the 50 was brilliant.
Yeah, it was. I watched it. I put it on the live stream on the TV. There's been a lot of talk on, they're not actually on Sky at the minute, are they, the games? But you can watch them on YouTube.
There's Connors bowling. That's flashed away down towards fine leg. And Jennings is through for a single. He moves on to 13. That's the end of the 3rd over. 24 without loss. Jennings 13. Salt on 11. And that represents, I think, Alex Hartley, a pretty steady start in the first half of the power play.
Yeah, I think both teams will be pretty happy with that, especially after Lancs got off to that flyer in the first over, 12 coming off that first over. As I was watching, would it be called Notts TV, Notts live stream last night?
Yeah, I'm not sure what they call it.
It made me realise how good our Lancs TV is. Like, genuinely. I was like, you know what? Best in the business, aren't we?
Well, I had, in the commentary box next door, I was with Phoebe Graham. We were on a different commentary stream.
Well, I did wonder where you were.
Well, I was there, but
I saw that Phoebe was there, and I thought, she's got my job again.
You're out of our price range now. We can't afford you.
Hey, we're not getting paid today.
Oh,
this is great.
Outrageous.
a bit of work experience.
Can I tell that story about when we told you in the day? Here's Jennings heaving the ball high through the onside, out towards deep mid-wicket, and comes back for 2. Moves on to 15, 26 without loss as we start the 4th.
So if you've not noticed, if you listen to a lot of county cricket and you follow, you know, the BBC, there's a lot of new commentators around this year, and that's mainly because there was an email sent out saying, would you like to do some work experience? So I said, well, of course. I replied saying, yes, please, can I do some work experience, because this is what I want to do when I grow up, you know. I want to be a commentator.
Scrimshaw balls. Jennings top edges over the keeper, down towards the boundary. 1 bounce towards the rope. Will it reach it? It does. 4 more for Jennings. 30 without loss in the 4th.
So I replied, yes, please, I'd love to do some work experience. Would do it for free, like, would just want to get better. Got an email back. Did you read the email? I said, no. Why? Read the email. So it does say, did you want to do some work experience? But the headline to the email was, would you like to be the next Isha Guha, Ebony Rainford Brent, or Alex Hartley? And I replied saying, yes, please.
Absolutely love that.
What a clown. They must have thought, God, this girl loves herself.
It's Scrimshaw from the Jimmy Anderson end. Balls to Jennings. They're trying to whip it out towards the leg side, but that just deflects off the thigh pad. And there is no run. 19 to Keaton Jennings. 11 to Phil Salt. 30 without loss. And we are halfway into the 4th over. Little shake of the head from Keaton Jennings. He's hit a couple of big hits already tonight. He's had that big top edge over the keeper.
It's been very much 4 or nothing, hasn't it, so far?
Has he got 3? Yeah, 3 fours in it for his 19 runs. Scrimshaw. Balls again. He takes it on again. That's 6. That might be the upper tier.
It is.
Well, duck if you're in the crowd, or ideally try and take the catch, but don't hurt your fingers. Little lad there, I think, may have hurt his finger. Big hit for Keaton Jennings. First maximum of the game for him. 36 without loss, Lancashire.
Well, the scary thing is there for Keaton Jennings, he's not even got hold of that. It was a big heave, big pull shot into the onside, and quite a big top edge into the 2nd tier here at Emirates Old Trafford. Someone's tried to catch it, and he's wringing out his fingers. He's going, oh, that one hurt a little bit.
And his little lad said, this is how you do it, Dad. I'll show you how to do it properly.
I think if his little lad who was about 4 tried to catch that, it'd have fallen off.
Yeah, could have gone on the balcony. Yeah. Scrimshaw in, balls again. Muscled away for 4 more. Keaton Jennings is in the mood tonight, isn't he? Lancashire 40 without loss.
Again, another brilliant shot from Keaton Jennings. It was short, and it's not even a pull shot, he just thumps it into the onside. The mid-wicket fielder, who is on the ring, couldn't do anything about it. It shot straight past him. 4 more.
He's come out with a bit of
well, I think a couple of the Lancs lads are a bit annoyed, you know, because they finished quite late last night.
They did.
They start early today.
Yeah. Scrimshaw. Balls to Jennings. And Jennings tries to muscle it out through mid-wicket, but does get a single. Keeps the strike. Moves on to 30. 41 for 1 after 4.
He's scoring quickly at the minute, is Keaton Jennings. He only got 19. It was in the Roses clash, but it was a good 19. So I remember texting someone saying, Keaton batted well today, and they were like, he only got 19. I was like, but it was a good 19. It did look good. And you do think when you look at this batting lineup and you've got Jennings and Salt at the top of the order, that Salt would be the one that would really put you under pressure as a bowling unit and a bowler, but Jennings has come out and done exactly that as well.
Salt has actually played, he's played kind of the supporting role here, hasn't he, to Jennings, who has seen more of the ball. He's seen 19 of the deliveries to Salt's 5 so far, but he's got on with it. There's Keaton Jennings back on strike. This is Connors into him. Oh, he's gone again. Might be 6 more. I think it is. The umpire's just waiting for confirmation. No, it's been signalled as a 4 actually.
Well, he's just picked that up. It was a length ball, not a bad ball at all, and he's just hit it straight over the umpire. 1 bounce 4. It bounced probably a couple of centimetres inside the boundary. I don't know what he's had for breakfast, but I think someone might have annoyed him.
He's had his extra Weetabix. He's come out thinking, man, we're just going to crack on with it. Maybe he was stuck on the M6 traffic like me at 4:30 in the morning. Here's Connors into Jennings. Oh, that's a big top edge. Now, will it clear the man at short third? No. It's a good catch running backwards. Jennings has to go for 34. Scrimshaw with the catch, and I think that was quite tricky to take as well, Alex. 45 for 1 in the 5th.
Was a good catch that from Scrimshaw, as Keaton Jennings looks to hit that into the onside yet again. The big top edge. And short third has had to run basically back to the boundary to take that catch. The ball was in the air for a very long time. Scrimshaw over his right-hand shoulder. They're never easy to take those, but he made it look pretty simple. And Derbyshire, they've got their breakthrough. But this Lancs batting lineup is never ending.
Who's going to come out at 3?
Liam Livingston.
Because they've changed it around a little bit. We had Stephen Croft and then Dane Villas have both batted at 3 in the first couple of matches, but I suppose if you've got Livingston in the team, and he obviously he's not going to be here for much longer with the England call-up, you might as well make use of it.
Yeah, I guess I forgot about the England call-up actually. They're off to the Netherlands.
Aren't you?
We're supposed to be.
Oh, right, okay.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, Livingston, Salt, Luke Wood, Josh Butler, 4 Lancashire players. Wood, of course, it's his first one-day international call-up, so congratulations.
Yeah, he's done well, hasn't he? Luke Wood. There's a lot of talk. He's only played 4 first A-class games or whatever they're called. But if you're good enough, you're good enough. And they obviously see some potential.
Well, they're a fan of a left-arm seamer, aren't they, in that squad? There's
loads of them.
There's about 4 of them, I think. But yeah, congratulations to Luke Wood. Spoke to him last night at Trent Bridge, and he obviously had a big beaming smile on his face. And just as I mentioned, what a special day for you, and yeah, terrific to see Wood called up. Now, Liam Livingston last night at Trent Bridge took a bit of a shine to Dane Patterson, the Notts bowler, and hit him for a couple of big shots for 6. Let's see what mood he's in tonight. Livingston's on strike, and he's just able to guide this ball down towards third man, and he's through for his first run. He moves on to 1, 46 for 1, brings Phil Salt back on strike. And we're in the 5th over of the power play. Phil Salt and Liam Livingston batting for Lancashire Lightning. There's a good crowd inside Emirates Old Trafford. I think there was about 9,000 tickets that they'd sold up until the other day. And if you buy a ticket, you get both games. And yeah, plenty in watching today, which is great. And it's Connors to Salt. It's muscled out through the onside. There's 2 on that leg side boundary. And Salt just settles for a single, and he moves on to 12, scored 47 for 1. 2 balls remaining of the 5th.
I do like watching Liam Livingston play cricket.
He's good fun, isn't he?
Not quite got going yet for Lancashire.
Looked like he was in the mood last night, but it didn't quite work for him. Oh, he's down the pitch. He's top edging for 4 over the keeper, and he moves on to 5, and that brings up the 50 as well for Lancashire Lightning. 51 for 1 with the ball left of the 5th.
Well, Liam Livingston there using his feet to come down the pitch, and Connors has just banged one in short to try and counteract that movement and try and stop that big top edge from Livingston, who just got us, oh well, still runs.
They're all runs, yeah. Got fine leg inside the ring, third man back on the rope, and there's a deep square leg, so there's the third man deep square out of the circle. Again, he advances down the pitch, banged in by Connors, and taken by the keeper. Has that been signalled as a no ball? It has, yeah.
It's not a free hit though, is it?
No.
So it's just a no ball. But it's strange that, really.
Well, it doesn't, yeah, it keeps...
Doesn't, still, a wide and no ball, if it's not a free hit, it's the same thing.
Yeah. One rule for one and one rule for the other. Doesn't seem... If it's a no ball, it should be a free hit, shouldn't it?
Strange.
Yeah, I agree. This is the final ball of the 5th over. Connors skipping in and bowling over the wicket, and Livingston clubs it away for 6. Out towards the upper tier, duck for cover. Take evasive action. That's heading your way. Livingston with a monster hit for 6. 59 for 1 after 5.
Well, Liam Livingston has hit that from one leg as well. He didn't even have both feet on the ground. And when we talk about how exciting he is to watch play, that is why. He can just do that from ball 1. That was a monster of a hit from Liam Livingston.
You'd think you'd be pretty safe there, wouldn't you, on the back 2 rows of the upper tier? We're not in striking distance. You know, we've got seats here, upper tier, back 2 rows. We're absolutely fine. We're miles away from it. And then Liam Livingston comes a step down the pitch and absolutely launches it right in your direction. And you're probably still thinking, no, we're okay, we're fine, we're in no danger. And then you quickly realise, oh no, it's coming our way. End of the 5th, 59 for 1. Alex Hartley's left us. Stuart Law, he's alongside me. Good afternoon, Stuart.
Scotty, how are you, mate? Nice to be back here.
Great to have you back.
Yeah, nice to be here and nice to turn up just to watch that absolutely moosed. I thought it was going out onto the tram track.
I love the term moosed. Big fan of that. Now Matty McKieran is into the attack from the Jimmy Anderson end. Balls to Salt, who goes over extra cover this time. There's 2 chasing after it, but they're just going to play ball boy. It's 4 more. And Lancashire Lightning to 63 for 1.
Yeah, I like this approach from Phil Salt as well, not letting the new bowler settle. Floated up outside the off stump and he just helped himself to 4 over extra cover. Beautiful cover drive. Perfect cricket shot, really. Bounced and just dribbled into the fence. You don't have to hit him out of the park, don't hit over to the tram track.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, yeah.
Just every now and again put one there, just for good measure. Salt gives himself some room and slashes the ball up towards long on and goes through for a single, and the score moves on to 64 for 1. And we're 2 balls into the 6th, the final over of the power play. Livingston's back on strike.
He's got the big boundary to his leg side now from the leg spinner, which is dangerous playing against the spin, but I don't think that boundary's too big for Livingston. He could put it into the point from where he is right now. He's a powerful striker, and he just loves taking the game by the scruff of the neck.
McKieran in and balls to Livingston. He just leans into it and just plays a nice little shot pushed up towards mid-off. It's all very calm, that, actually. There's no run. Just easing up towards mid-off. Walks away to square leg.
Hold on to your hats. Here it comes.
You feel like it's only a delivery away, don't you? Down the pitch he comes. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Up and over mid-off. 1 bounce and 4. What a glorious shot from Liam Livingston.
Once again, a bit of air outside leg stump, and Livingston getting his body outside leg stump, manoeuvring his hands to get it over the mid-off, who's up inside the circle. They've got deep mid-wicket and deep mid-on to at the moment, and just beautiful timing, placement. Once again, a perfect cricket shot. We're not seeing bludgeon every ball. It's a beautiful cricket shot.
He's 15 from 6 deliveries, Livingston. Lancashire Lightning are 68 for 1. We've got 2 balls left of the first 6 overs, which are the power play overs, and the Derbyshire can get some more fielders on the boundary. Again, he comes with a little dance down the pitch and works the ball away through mid-wicket, and he's going to come back for 2. Well, Lancashire Lightning know this outfield, don't they? They know when there's 1s and 2s to be taken.
It's tough too with the fielder out there at deep mid-wicket, with Liam Livingston on strike, knowing that he can clear that rope, but also if he doesn't get it, like then it's just a bottom of the bat and it dribbled out just outside the 30-yard circle. Where do you stand to stop the 2? But where do you stand to take the catch on the rope? It's difficult. So Lewis Deploy out there, he's got to make a decision.
McKiernan to Livingston. Oh, that's hit firmly. I mean, it's gone on the fall to the bowler, who stuck his hand out to stop it. He's saved his team some runs there. That's the end of the 6th over. That's the power play done. 71 for 1.
Yeah, Livingston came down again, looking to go over mid-off. Didn't quite get it out of the middle, but hit it firmly enough. And McKiernan, probably lucky to still have his left hand intact. Just threw it out, hoping that it'd stick. It didn't stick. They ran through for a single. So that's 71 off the power play. That's a tremendous start from Lancs after winning the toss and batting on a beautiful wicket, brand new, fresh pitch. They'll be targeting, anywhere upwards of 180 here, and sit back and strangle the opposition and let the spinners go to work.
That tends to be the tactics, isn't it?
It works. It's brought them a lot of success, and if it keeps working, it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We were looking, Stuart, at the scorecard of the T20 finals day from quite a few years back when you were playing for Lancashire. As Watt returns and bowls, and that's flicked away off the pads by Livingston through mid-wicket for a single. He's on to 19, 72 for one. Was it 2005?
Could have been, yeah. Was that at the Oval?
I think
it was Edgbaston, yeah.
Edgbaston, I think. You opened the batting with Freddie Flintoff?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That was good.
Stephen Crawford still playing?
He would have been about 12, wouldn't he?
Watt in and balls to Salt. Let's hit back down the ground. There's no run. But I suppose the point I'm trying to slowly get to is that was still in its infancy, wasn't it? T20 then. I think it only been three seasons.
Yeah, it was 3rd season in. Yeah.
It's has it changed a bit? Has it changed a bit?
Just a tad, yeah.
There's Watt to Salt. Again, trying to slap it away through mid-wicket. There's a fielder out on that boundary. Just gets a single. Moves on to 18, 73 for one.
Yeah, Watt clever here. The ball before was a 23-yard delivery, and if it threw Phil Salt right out, and obviously the right hand is now trying to target that small boundary on the leg side.
In and balls, and it's a full ball just outside off stump, which Livingston drives away through the offside. Just for one. Takes him to 20, 74 for one.
Yeah, those days were great. You know, the finals days. Went to a few. Went to one at Edgbaston, went to one at the Oval, and Somerset beat us in the final that day. So, you know, been a couple of times. Never won a trophy here at Lancs, which I'm still bloody filthy with.
What balls? Salt off the back foot, dragging the ball away through the onside. Just for one, he moves on to 19, 75 for one with the ball left for the 7th.
But great days, you know, the full crowd. It didn't matter who was playing. People bought their tickets at the start of the year, and when you got there, it was just a tremendous atmosphere and a privilege to play in.
Watt balls. Livingston down on one knee. He's asking if that's an LBW as he tries to launch it towards the tram tracks again, but it's the end of the over. 7 gone. 75 for one. Salt 19, and Livingston on 20. It's the 20th year of the Blast as well. The 20th year of T20 cricket.
I remember we played in the first one, and I think one of our very first games against Surrey at the Oval, we got bowled out for 63. We thought, that doesn't work. That's not how you do it. And then we worked out a plan, you know, and the first thing everyone said, you've got more time than you think. You know, you think 20 overs, you've got to get on with it. You've got to score it, you know, hell of a rate every time. They do now. Back then we didn't know how to do it, and now they've worked it out. These boys, the skill level they have and the thought process that goes into, you know, their development of an innings, it's amazing. It really is, and it's great to be around just to listen to how the best players. I'd love to sit and hear Livy's, you know, theory on it, but watching him, it's just see ball, hit ball.
7 overs gone, 75 for one. Lancashire Lightning batting first. As Scrimshaw returns into the attack and balls to Salt, who's pivoting round, trying to drag it away through the onside. Makes no contact with it. There's a kind of a stifled appeal from the bowler. And a wry smile from the umpire.
Neil Melander, what a great man. You know, wonderful player in his day, and great umpire. He's spoke to him before play and said, how do you play golf? I played a bit of golf recently. My back's in bits. He's been doing it all his career.
Scrimshaw to Salt. Now that's gone high, but mid-on's in the game here and takes the catch. It is Madsen with the catch, and Salt goes, and Lancashire lose their 2nd wicket in the 8th over. That went high, didn't it? But not over Madsen at mid-on, who takes a catch. 75 for 2 in the 8th.
It looks like it's a bit too paced to pitch. That was banged in, back of a length. Phil Salt normally, you know, murders that over mid-wicket for 4, and just didn't quite arrive at the right time for him, and hit it high enough, and Wayne Madsen, safe as houses, just running 10 metres back from mid-on. So Lancs losing their 2nd one in the 8th over, but Dane Villas coming to the crease now.
Just holding Tim David back. Had a pretty impressive start to his T20 campaign with Lancashire Lightning, but I suspect that they see him perhaps having a bigger influence maybe a little later on in the innings.
Yeah, probably, you know, the way he's been brought into games, just finished the IPL, there'd be a set number of overs. They'd think, okay, once there's only, say, 8 overs left, Tim, you go after then. You know, before then, let's hold you back, because it sounds weird. You want your best players playing as many balls as you possibly can, but if they're only used to facing that many balls.
Scrimshaw to Villas. Oh, it's flicked down towards a very fine third man for 4 runs. It feels like it's a risky shot, but I suppose it isn't really.
There's no slips there, and Dane Villas plays that regularly. Does it in championship cricket as well. Probably not that fine, because you'd have first and second slip in. But that's we call that the off glance. You know, you might be an outside edge through slip, but no one needs to know that. You say, no, beautiful off glance, and it's always 4 down there. If you get it fine enough, just got to get it wide of the keeper. It's 4 runs.
Love it how you batters have created your own individual shots. It's the off glance. I've not heard of that before, but I'm going to start using it. There's Scrimshaw to Villas.
Just the outside edge through the slip cord, and that's the off glance as well. If it goes for 4, it's not about how, it's how many.
Absolutely. Villas is on to 5 now with that single, just dropped away towards mid-wicket. Brings Liam Livingston back on strike. One of the reasons why people have bought a ticket for a Lancashire Lightning fixture is because they've got a certain Liam Livingston in their team.
You pay money to watch him bat, that's for sure.
20 from 11. Scrimshaw has the task of running into balls to him. Oh, it's a short ball. And, Livingston just gets underneath it and through to the keeper.
Surprising, the big man, Scrimshaw, a tall lad, isn't he? I saw him on the ground today. I thought, wow, he's a bit taller than I ever thought he'd be. He's got some decent pace on him, so that's a great ball. You know, Liam Livingston looking to always attack, be aggressive on the front foot, hit down the ground, and that was a surprise bumper, which was very well executed.
Let's see a little bit of that a little bit later on from Richard Gleeson when he's bowling for Lancashire. Into Livingston, he tumbles over, he's follow through, but Livingston just guides the ball away off his hip and away through mid-wicket for a single. And he's nicked the strike, hasn't he? Yeah, it's the end of the over. 8 gone, 21 to Livingston, 5 to Villas, 82 for 1. Lancashire Lightning here at Emirates Old Trafford in the blast fixture between Lightning and the Derbyshire Falcons.
Yeah, good counter, isn't he, Liam Livingston? He knows 1 to 6. Used to play with a guy called Matthew Hayden. He knew if he was facing the last ball of an over, you're down in the starter's position like a 100-metre sprinter, because no matter what, he was calling yes, just to get up the other end for the next over. Yeah, it was great fun. He used to say to him a couple of times, mate, no, you just stay down there this time. Let me have a go.
Please may I have a turn. Well, again, Watt balls from somewhere behind the crease, but on this occasion, Livingston just steps away from it. Alex Hartley spotted this, said that she's looking forward to watching this, and she's seen Watt ball again. It is an unusual thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's another way to create a slower ball. Probably not bowling it from 24 yards, maybe 20, 23. That was a real long ball.
She's driven by Livingston into the offside, and there's no run.
I just love the way the ball flies off Livingston's bat. He must have, I don't know, he hits the ball hard, yes, but the bats must be unbelievably good as well.
Watts to Livingston, it's a short ball, he rocks back and he pulls the ball away towards the building site. It's in with the diggers. For 6 to Livingston, 87 for 2.
And I don't think he got anywhere near as much of that as he wanted to, and it's still gone 40 yards over the rope. Workman running in yet. They've all got their hard hats on. Good thinking, boys.
You might need some of them. How on earth do you find the ball in the middle of all that? Do we have a clue where this could be, or are we just going to give up on it? Now, they're in pursuit of this. You've got the little walkie-talkies, but I think you'll do well to find it in the middle of all that rubble.
I don't know who he's talking to on the walkie-talkie. They've got to be high, that's for sure. I think it's a bit further back, boys.
Somewhere near the road.
Back behind those fences.
Well, let's see if we can see back on the replay here as he launches the ball through that leg side.
It's a great shot to use of the feet, getting deep in the crease, staying low and hitting through the ball. Beautiful shot.
87 for 2. Livingston to 27. Have we given up on it? Oh no, that's a great effort. I think we've retrieved the ball. Now what condition it's in, I'm not sure.
Well,
oh, seems okay. It's bounced around inside the rubble. It's maybe hit a JCB digger. It's fallen down a number of holes, but it's all right to continue.
It's not covered in mud, is it?
What balls? Livingston takes it off the pads. For 4 runs behind square leg.
Oh, that's an incredible shot, really. It's not far away from being a good delivery. Yorker length, 6 inches off the ground when he hit it, and he just flipped it. Use of the wrist. That was a real hockey shot. Flipped it with his wrist behind square and deep backward square on the fence. Was interested for about a split second, then he thought, no, I'm not getting that. It just raced past him. What a great shot.
It just looks so nonchalant, doesn't it? From Livingston, the way he just flicks it off his pads.
He's not short of confidence.
31 from 16. Watt back into Livingston. Oh, well, this has gone through everything. The ball's disappearing towards the boundary behind the keeper for 4. A little bit of inside edge on it. A little bit of bat.
Bottom edge, yeah, okay. If he hasn't, that's a great bluff from Liam Livingston. He's trying to hit that into, well, he's trying to hit that over the grandstand again. Inside edge goes through the keeper's legs, directly behind the pitch for 4 runs.
Takes him to 35 off 17, and Lancashire to 95 of 2. What in and balls. Drilled away through the offside on this occasion.
That's 2. Yeah.
And they come back pretty comfortably in the end for 2.
Dane Villas, you're not stopping him getting 2 there. That he almost walked that, didn't he? He's one of the fittest blokes on the circuit, that's for sure.
37 to Liam Livingston now. 1 ball left to the 9th. 97 for 2. And Watt, left arm around the wicket, balls. Livingston goes for a big shot again. The ball balloons up and over the wicket keeper, and Livingston gets another run. Some part of his bat or glove on it. Moves on to 38. End of the 9th. 98 for 2. Lancashire Lightning batting first, edging towards 100 at the halfway stage with 8 wickets in hand. They will be looking for a pretty big score here.
Oh yeah, and there's no better way when you win the toss and you'd elect to bat. You really want to make a statement in the first 6 overs, getting up to 70 whatever they were after the 6th, and then now pushing on. If they're around 100 and 105 after 10 overs, it sets them up beautifully for an onslaught at the back end. 200, 220 is a possibility.
Matty McKiernan, first over, went for 12. He's got Livingston again on strike as he drags the ball through the onside, and he's gone for 6. And it's cleared the fielder, who's kind of halfway in and halfway back, and it brings up the 100 for Lancashire. 104 for 2.
Yeah, Lewis Deploy out there, he had to make a decision whether he stays on the rope, because he knows Livingston can hit it over his head, but if he mistimes it and gets it into that gap, it's always 2. So I think you'd rather give away a 2 than a 6, and possibly stay on the rope. You get rid of Liam Livingston caught, but amazing power. That only got about shin high to play a pull shot out to the longest part of the ground and cleared the rope easy.
McKinnon to Livingston. This time he drives through mid-off, and Dame Villa says, thanks mate, I can have a go. 105 for 2. Livingston to 45. Well, he's looking at the toe end of his bat, Liam Livingston. Not sure how much he middled that one away through mid-wicket, but it doesn't really matter these days, does it, where it comes off the bat?
No. Not like in our day.
Villas waits, McKiernan in, he goes back and flicks the ball down towards short fine leg and just gets a single and moves on to 6, and Lancashire are 106 for 2 in the 10th.
I was a bit short, wasn't I, saying 105 after 10 overs. He got there with 1 hit, well, 2 hits.
McKiernan with Livingston back on strike and working it right in between the legs of Dame Villas up towards the long on boundary where Madsen fields. Livingston moves to 46, 107 for 2. Brings the captain back on strike.
It's another 5 overs of Livingston doing this. Well, Lancashire are well on target for 210 plus.
McKinnon to Villas. Just leans into it, tucks it away through that vacant mid-wicket region and gets a single. He's happy, I think, the Lancashire captain, to get Livingston on strike. And why wouldn't you be? He's 46 from 22.
Looking forward to seeing Tim David. Not seen him play live, but seen him on TV and just want to hear the sound off his bat.
It sounds pretty good. Livingston plays it back down the ground and fielded by Matty McKinnon off his own bowling, and there's no run. That's the halfway stage of the Lancashire Lightning innings. They are 108 for 2 after 10, with Dane Villas on 7 and Liam Livingston on 46. And 46 looking in fine fettle is the Lancashire batter. Hello, Alex.
Hello.
This could be quite a lively 10 overs, this, couldn't it?
I did say in the warm-up to the game that with the short boundary here at mid-wicket, Lancashire could easily get 200 with the batting lineup that they've got. And I love it when things like this happen, because it means I'm right. They've not got 200 yet,
no, but
they're going along very nicely.
I think they were 88 for 2 last night after 10, something like that. Quite get to probably the level that they were looking at last night, as Kerr comes in. But I think the music was still going.
Yeah, I'm actually avoiding Dane Villas at all costs today.
Right.
I'm in the bad books
on
on Sunday, so we went over to the hotel for a drink on Sunday after our game.
As Kerr comes left arm over the wicket to Villas, but for no run into the offside.
And things got a little bit giddy. So about 10:30, 11:15, we were like, should we go into town? You know, there's 4 or 5 of us. We said, yeah, we'll go into town. Went off into town, and then Graham Onions came up to me on Monday at training and said, you didn't pay your bill. Dane had to cover it. So I had to message him yesterday saying, I'm so sorry, how much do I owe you?
Kerr to Villas. Just goes back and works it off his hip through mid-wicket for a single and moves on to 8, 109 for 2.
I mean, it's not my fault.
But how is it not your fault?
I was the oldest there, so therefore I've got to take the responsibility. I bought 3 rounds. No one else bought a round, so I just presumed they would buy those drinks.
Got you.
But they didn't, so I've had to get some cash out to give him some cash.
Did you request it in hard currency as well?
Yeah.
I want it paid in cash, please, in a brown envelope. I don't want a bank transfer for your debt.
No, so I do apologise to Dane, but I've been avoiding him.
Lancashire captain not say, it's okay, Alex. I've got it, don't worry about it.
No, he didn't actually.
Oh, okay,
no. He said you owe me money.
Yeah, the precise figure as well. Livingston is back on strike. Kerr, he's a big, strong lad. He's in and bowling a full ball, but wide of off stump, and Livingston looking to try and drive away into the offside, and it disappears out towards mid-wicket, and he gets through for a single. Moves on to 47. It's 110 for 2. We're halfway into the 11th. Here at Emirates Old Trafford. Liam Livingston. He's 47 from 24.
When somebody's going like Liam Livingston is, 47 from 24, you've got to try and find a way of keeping him off strike.
There's Kerr to Villas, who's down the pitch and slicing the ball down towards third man. And he'll come back for a second. And moves on to 10, and the score moves on to 112 for 2.
So whether or not you go wide Yorkers and try and dot him up, or you try and just give him one into that leg side, they have got deep square mid-wicket, long on, long off, and then, oh no, mid-off is inside the ring. So can you bowl into that leg side? But I suppose with the danger of the short boundary, someone like Liam Livingston can just flick you into the leg side for 6, but you want to be bowling at Dane Villas in this situation.
Livingston at the non-strikers end. It is Villas on strike. And that's heaved away through the onside, out towards the building site again. Can we have our ball back, please? 6 more. Villas moves on to 10. It's 118. Correction? Yes, 118 for 2. These two are busy.
I think they've just come for a day at the cricket.
And to retrieve the balls from the dirt. Well, you did predict, didn't you, before the start of the play, that that building site could get a bit of battering today.
We've seen it a few times already.
16 to Dane Villas, 118 for 2, 1 ball left of the 11th. Kerr to Villas, just runs it off the face of the bat. Takes a single down to third. Moves on to 17, and at the end of the 11th over, Lancashire Lightning are 119 for the loss of just the 2 wickets. So they're in a strong position here. Phil Salt for 19, Keaton Jennings for 34. You can see the run rate there. Just plateaued a little bit, but it's the wickets in hand. It's the ability to go really hard.
It is, and we're saying it's plateaued, but it's still above 10s.
Yes.
You know, the run rate is still above 10 runs and over. So Lancs, they got off to a fantastic start. They set themselves a really good platform, and they've been able to just capitalise on that.
Yeah, they're in a strong position here. The Falcons, who've had a good start to the Blast this year, on the back of a victory over the Pennines at Yorkshire. And they're third in the group. Watt returns. And Villas comes down the pitch, little in to out, but a lovely shot, up and over extra cover, out towards the boundary. It's gone for 4. What a shot from the Lancashire captain.
Well, he's just given himself room. He stepped outside the leg stump to play that up and over extra cover. Didn't quite get hold of it. And a poor bit of fielding on the boundary there, really. But he gets the reward. Is that Louis Rees on the boundary?
It is. He kind of got to it, didn't he?
Just thought he'd slide tackle it for 4.
What balls again? It's a ball he delivers from quite some distance behind the popping crease, and Villas cuts the ball away through the offside. That's what you need to introduce into your... I want to see you do that.
Well, Scott, funny you should say that.
Yeah?
I would like to think I set the trend. I've been bowling that ball since 2016.
Have you?
Yep.
I'm too busy watching your arms waft around to notice how far back you are from delivering it. I'd have to keep an eye out for it later on. What balls to Livingston? Flick down towards short, fine leg. Gets through for a single. Moves on to 48. That's a 50 partnership as well.
I'd like to take claim for it, but you know, if anything, well, it's with like anything in life, it gets passed down from generation to generation. So it was actually Ian Salisbury that taught me that ball when he was England spin bowling coach.
What in as Villas reverses over the top of the 2 fielders inside the circle for 4. What a clever shot from Dane Villas.
Well, we were just saying you want to be bowling at Dane Villas and keep Liam Livingston off strike. Well, Villas has had quite a bit of the strike over the last 8 balls or so. He's finding the boundary with ease as well. So Derby here, they really need to think about their plans. How can they stem the flow of runs?
Watt to Villas, just leans a half a step forward and will nudge it up towards mid-on for a single.
Watt taking the pace off that bowling. Ultra slow ball, just back of a length. Dane Villas not even taking it on, saying, you know what, we've got enough runs off this over, I can knock that into the leg side for 1.
Yeah, 11 off the over so far. Gives Livingston 1 ball to face. He's 2 away from a 50. And he just plays it off the back foot through extra cover. And again, Livingston nicks the strike. He's up to 49. 12 gone. 131 for 2, Lancashire Lightning in this T20 Blast fixture against the Derbyshire Falcons, and they're in fine position here to excel in these final 8 overs. They've got to bat with plenty of power still to come.
Stephen Croft, Tim David, Danny Lamb, Luke Wood. Seen Tom Hartley hit a long ball as well.
He's come out and had a couple of fun cameo roles in the last couple of games. Tom Hartley come out and just last night came down, first ball he faced, whacked him for 4.
I love that. I love that. I'd also love to be able to do that. So I was trying to explain the other day of when you see someone like Liam Livingston and Tim David hit the ball out of the ground, you think they make it look so easy. You think, oh, it must be really easy to do. I was at training the other day and we're down at Sale Cricket Club. And I can't comprehend how hard it is to do and how hard it is to actually hit the ball out of a stadium for 6. I can barely clear the rope.
Connors for the Derbyshire Falcons. It isn't bowling full and it's driven hard back down the ground, actually hits the stumps at the non-strikers end. I think Villas was back. I'm not so sure that Connors even got a touch on that, but the bails went flying.
He's having some problems with the toe end of his bat, Liam Livingston, and we can just see on the TV that the bottom of his bat is taped up. And he keeps looking at it. There must be a crack. In fact, you can see the crack on the TV at the bottom of his cricket bat.
It's 49 from 27 from this bat so far tonight. That's probably going to be signalled a wide. It is. As Connors fizzes one full, but wide of that off stump, and the score ticks along to 132 for 2. The field to Livingston, deep backward square leg, deep mid-wicket, long on, long off, deep point. So there's short fine leg, short third man, backward point, wide mid off. Livingston hammers it high again, out towards the double tier stand. It might actually be leaving us, or is it caught in the stand? He's gone for 6 either way. I don't know whether anyone's caught it or not. It brings up a 50. It's a spectacular way to get to 50. It's another big hammer blow off the bat of Liam Livingston, who is unbeaten on 55 for Lancashire Lightning, who are 138 for 2.
That is a fine shot from Liam Livingston. He's just clattered it into the leg side, stays still, nearly went out the ground, must hit the ball harder, Liam. Although when he spoke about his biggest 6 in the IPL this year, he got the biggest 6 at 116 metres. He did say, well, it's still only 6. Which he's got a fair point.
He has, but it should be 6 with a bit of VAT on it, shouldn't it, really, when you hit it that far? That might be signalled a wide, it is. As Connors sends it down. Livingston, by the way, 55 of 28 deliveries, 4 4s, 4 6s.
You can see what Connors is trying to do there. He's bowling full wide outside the off stump with a deep backward point, a deep extra cover, a long off, a long on and a mid wicket to try and stop Liam hitting the ball into that short leg side boundary.
Connors over the wicket to Livingston, who clubs it back down the ground. Long off and long on. We'll stand and admire it.
Oh, is it?
It's almost up to the TV gantry. 6 more for Livingston, 1 over mid-wicket, 1 straight back down the ground. The ball's getting some battering tonight off the bat of Liam Livingston, 145 for 2.
Well, that's actually landed in the TV gantry and bounced back out. So Liam Livingston, although Connors, you can see his plan and what he's trying to do, that ball was just in the slot. And clever from Livingston because he stepped outside the off stump to allow him to hit the ball straight.
That's not in the job description, isn't it, for the camera operator? Watch out for Liam Livingston smacking the ball in your direction. He's 61 from 29. Connors in, bowls again, hits it but doesn't quite time it. On this occasion it will land short. There's a long off running up from the boundary. Livingston moves on to 62 and Lancashire Lightning to 146 for 2 with 2 balls left of the 13th. 62 from 30.
I just wish I could do that.
I don't think you're on your own with that.
No. I'd love to be a batter, you know, Scott.
Yeah? So if you could have it all, start all again, you'd be a batter, would you?
Well, in an ideal world, I'd still be a left-arm spinner at bat 7.
Okay, right.
But just batting never came naturally to me.
Connors to Villas, who's in position to try and ramp it, but doesn't get a hold of it. It's kind of crab-like dancing across his crease there, Villas. Trying to scoop it over the keeper. There's no run.
Dame Villas is 27 off 14 balls.
Oh,
So
yeah, forgot about that.
he's going at some as well.
Livingston just steals all the headlines, doesn't he? Villas waits, down on one knee, swats it away through mid-wicket, and moves on to 28 now from 15 deliveries. It's the end of the 13th over. 147 for 2. What are you shaking your head at?
The end of the 13th over, 147 for 2.
What are they going to get here? 200?
Yeah, 210. 210. Oh, there we are. We're on the telly, look. Mum, I'm on the telly.
They're always on the telly.
Forget that, you know. Do forget that.
147 for 2. Well, that ball was that Livingston hit was bouncing around somewhere in front of that TV gantry.
Just where that camera is down below us, it just bounced in front of that camera.
It doesn't really matter where you are actually in the ground. If someone like Livingston's batting, you are within range, aren't you?
You are indeed. And you think with about 150 on the board, you'd love Tim David to be coming in now, but there's still 7 overs to go.
I see Matty McKiernan return to the attack. 2 overs for 22. This will be a tough ask bowling to these two at the minute. Yeah, Villas comes down the pitch towards him straight away, but in the end just having to work it away off the pads through mid-wicket for a single.
It's well bowled that from McKiernan. Just trying to hit that knee roll of Dane Villas. Quick into the stumps.
148 for 2. The bowler spins the ball from one hand to the other. He's waiting for Livingston to settle into his crease. This could be heading anywhere. Watch out in the deep, watch out in the stands. No, he just drives away, almost along the ground, through extra cover. Villas made his mind up that he wanted to come back for a second, and Livingston obliges. And that brings up the 150 for Lancashire Lightning. 150 for 2. We're 2 balls into the 14th over. Livingston 64 from 31. The fielders, their heels are touching the rope. They're as far back as they can go as he comes a step down the pitch and works it away through the onside. And again, Villas says there's 2 there. He's turned and almost halfway back before Livingston's reached the other end. 152 for 2.
Well, Dane Villas run into the danger end there as well. And actually in this situation, if Villas does get run out, it's not the end of the world. They've got such a brilliant platform and you've still got so many more batters to come.
McKiernan to Livingston, just worked away off the pads. Just for a single this time. Just take the 1. Flicked away. And he moves on to 67 from 33. 153 for 2 with 2 balls left, and Dane Villas, the man on strike. So have you paid the bill then? Have you not yet?
No,
right.
no.
He's still waiting for it, is he?
I'm avoiding him. Do you know what? I'm making this bill out to be like it's like 400 quid, aren't I? 16 quid.
He's asking for 16 quid.
16 quid. I've got a tenner, he can have that.
Yeah. I'll keep the rest, eh? McKiernan to Villas. Again, dances down the pitch and hammers it up towards mid-off, just for a single. Takes him to 30. And Lancashire Lightning to 154 for 2. Fielders behind the bowler, right back on the rope, but long off and long on. Deep extra cover, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square leg. Livingston just takes a single, punch through extra cover for 1. And yet again he says, I'll have the strike for the next over, please. 68 to Livingston from 34. 155 for 2 with 6 remaining.
A good over that from Matty McKiernan as well, but still 8 runs coming off it. So still a good over for Lancashire, but he was able to restrict the flow of boundaries. Just try and slow that run rate down ever so slightly. I was just thinking, obviously when, as a Lancashire born and bred player, when your teammates get picked for England, you're obviously really proud of them and you want them to do well. It's also a bit of a shame for Lancashire though, isn't it? Losing those players for, you know, quite a chunk of the summer.
Yes. I'm not sure Glenn Chappell will see it as cheerful as you.
You're like, oh, you're joking. Are they going to play? Because I'm not having him sat on the bench.
Yeah, it's a bit of a... It's great for the, as you say, for the lads individually. But it's going to decimate Lancashire's T20 team. Here's Kerr in and bowling. Oh, that's 4 down to 3rd man. Swing of the bat from Livingston. Little bottom edge. Again, he gives it a look, doesn't he? Down to the boundary, goes for 4. 159 for 2.
Well, Kerr going for those wide line Yorkers, and I guess that's the risk when you've got a 3rd man inside the ring. Anything on it, just a fine edge, does race away down to the boundary for 4. But with that short mid-wicket boundary, you can't afford to then have a deep 3rd and bring your mid-wicket in, because it just frees Livingston up to hit the ball into the leg side then. A bit unlucky for the bowler, that one.
Is that in inverted commas moral victory for a bowler or not really? Will Kerr, he's not going to think that way, is he?
Well, 4 off the first ball puts you on the back foot immediately as a bowler.
Short 3rd man's got a little bit finer. And he'll just hammer it away through extra cover instead for a single, Livingston. 73 from 36. It's been fireworks off the bat of Liam Livingston. He's kind of flirted with it since he returned to Lancashire, came back into the team straight away for the Yorkshire game. And we've seen little examples, little signs that he's he's not far off getting something like this, and today was Sinnott. Can he bat through the remaining overs? If he can, then blimey, he's in for a big score.
Be scary what he could get.
So Villas back on strike. Field changes a little bit. We've got 2 men out in the deep on the offside. Wide third man. Deep extra cover. Fine leg. Short third. Deep mid-wicket. Long on. Kerr to Villas, who's down on one knee. And muscles the ball away through the onside for a single. Takes him on to 31. It's 161 for 2. Halfway into the 15th. Tim Davis sat on the bench thinking, when am I going to get a go?
Get me in.
In a minute, these two have put together a terrific partnership. 75.
Off not many balls.
Not many balls, no. Kerr in bowls, that might be signalled as a wide. It is.
You don't mind that. Wide outside the off stump. As I keep saying, he's going for those wide Yorkers. His margin for error is that side. It is on the offside. If he bowls a horrific ball down the leg side that goes for a wide, that's not what his plan is. His plan is to bowl those wide line Yorkers. We need to remember these Derbyshire bowlers really are under the pump. There's still 5 overs left in this game.
Kerr to Livingston. Sliced away down to wide third man. Just for a single, 163 for 2. Partnership's actually 88. Taking some runs off him. So just trying to do maths live on air, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a recipe for fun, is it?
That's why I let you guys do that.
It's a sensible move from you, that. 163 for 2. Livingston to 74. And Kerr has got 2 balls left of his third.
Some expensive bowling figures today for Derbyshire.
Comes mostling his way back in for the Falcons and bowls, and Livingston down on one knee, looking to lash it through extra cover, but a swing and a miss. And through to the keeper, and there's no run. Umpire Tim Robinson with a great view, but you are in the line of fire, aren't you?
You can't blame the umpires that wear helmets and arm guards these days.
No.
I'd be wearing bubble wrap. I like the Michelin man.
Just head to toe in bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Last ball of the 15th. Kerr from the Brian Statham end. Left arm over, balls. Again, it's dragged away through the onside by Villas. And this time it's a Lancashire captain who keeps strike for the next over. He's on to 32. So 5 left. 15 gone. 164 for 2. Livingston 74, Villas on 32. And we could be set for a pretty thrilling 5 overs. Run rate above 10, and that's been pretty consistent now for some time. Still with 8 wickets remaining, they've got the ability to try and push that run rate up even more. But these two are still batting. Alex Hartley has left us, and Stuart Law's back alongside me. These two are batting when you were back last on, and they're still going strong.
Yeah, I think my last 5 overs was better than Alex's. I think I got 60 odd runs. There's only 50 in that last 5 overs. So they've slowed down a bit.
Here's McKiernan to Villas, who's again a step down the pitch and slashing away through the onside. And coming back for 2 more. Villas moves on to 34. And Lancashire Lightning to 166 for 2.
Yeah, and with only 2 wickets down now, 4.5 overs, these two can put the foot down, because they've still got some big hitters to come.
McKiernan to Livingston, to Villas rather, and it's a swing and a miss, and this time it's taken by the keeper, and he's gone. But I suppose with one eye on what's still in the dugout to come, trying to get on with it, the Lancashire skipper, he's been stumped, and Lancashire lose their third.
Yeah, he just pinned the ears back and tried to hit that over the members' pavilion and missed it. Got stumped, but it's not a bad thing for Lancashire, because you've got Dane Villas, no disrespect to him. You've now got Tim David, I would assume, walking out to the middle. I've been looking forward to this ever since driving in today. I've been looking forward to watching him play, and Yeah, Livy hasn't disappointed either, but it's a great innings from Dane Villas. Didn't slow the scoring rate down. Got Livingston to 74 and outwalks the big man Tim David.
And he's a big lad. He's a bit like a door, isn't he? He's massive.
Yeah, we call them wardrobes back home in Australia. These guys. He's built like a centre 3/4 in rugby, or no, he's a big unit.
The sound off the bat, Stuart, you're going to love it when he hits it.
I've got it turned up just so I can split my eardrums. It's pretty good off Liam Livingston's. I just want to see it off Tim Davis. No doubt he'll give himself a bit of time here. He'll get a couple down to the sweepers, down on the boundary rope, hit the ball hard along the ground to get himself going, but then 3 overs out, he'll unleash.
166 for 3. So Tim David, the new batter. As Liam Livingston wanders back to his crease. To see there the tape at the very bottom of the bat. He keeps looking there, doesn't he, Liam Livingston? A few times he's hit it and looked at the toe end of his bat. Got a bit of tape. Now then, David's on strike. He's off the back foot. Playing it away into the offside for no run.
No, he's got to get on with it, surely, hasn't he?
You can have one sighter.
Yeah. No, let him off.
McKiernan into David. That's heaved away through the onside. There's a man out in the deep. Do it deploy there for the Derbyshire Falcons. Tim David gets a single. 167 for 3.
And not a lot of turn in the pitch. Traditionally here it does spin, but it's a fresh wicket. Looks an absolute belter. That's what it does. Sitting up here, I wouldn't mind strapping them on myself. Walking out there next.
Livingston's enjoyed it today. Trying to work the ball away into the offside, but for no run. Would your eyes light up as a batter when you look at that pitch? Look at the weather.
Always did come into Old Trafford. You knew it was going to be a slab of concrete and rattle onto the bat. It was always good fun.
Final ball of McKinnon's 4th and final over. It'll flick away through mid-on for Livingston. Well, he's got through that last over, McKiernan, and fair play to him, because that would have been a pretty daunting prospect to bowling to Livingston and Villas. He's picked up the wicket. I think he only went for 4. 168 for 3, and Matty McKiernan has done his work with the ball. 4 overs, 1 for 34.
Definitely got out of that over beautifully. Just spearing it into the back of a length. Not a lot of turn first up on this wicket. That may change towards the back end of the match. But only going for 34, you'd take that, with the run rate, well over 8s, well over 9s. You'd take that quite well every time. It's over 10, isn't it? How's my maths? That's why I was a cricketer, mate.
4 to go. Livingston's on strike. And here is Kerr in and bowling. That's hit away through the offside, but straight to extra cover. And Livingston departs for a 75. And Lancashire Lightning lose their 4th wicket in the 17th over. 168 for 4.
Yeah, the ploy just getting the ball wide of the off stump, get the batsman hitting to the longest boundary, and Livingston trying to clear cover. It's a long boundary out here to our left, isn't it? So to get it, you've got to get it absolutely perfect. He didn't get it badly by any stretch of the imagination, but good catch overhead by Connors out there at deep cover. And Kerr picking up his first wicket.
Yeah, it's a fair old hit, isn't it, out there? Catch above head height, running backwards. And it's Livingston too. A bit of pressure on that.
Yeah, massively, and great innings from Liam Livingston. It's what the crowd come to see. They come to see, his quick scoring, big hits. He provides everything, that man, and it's a well-deserved applause. Stephen Croft into the crease, one of my old teammates, the young fella.
Still got, he was described as the old man of the team by his captain.
Yeah. He is.
He took a blinding catch last night at Trent Bridge. Running in from the boundary, full-length diving catch. It was kind of classic Croft. And he's playing from the crease and chopping the ball down towards third man. He might get 4 straight away here. He does. Up and running with the boundary 4 down to third man.
Yeah, interesting field setting too. The third man's up in the circle, but he's about second slip line, third slip, with a deep backward point, and Stephen Croft just absolutely dissecting that gap perfectly, and it rolled away for 4. Always a fast outfield here in the sunshine at Old Trafford. Always good pace in the pitch. So if you do get into those gaps, they can run away from you, and Lewis Deploy had no chance of cutting that one off.
172 for 4. Croft up and running straight away. Kerr, left arm over, balls. Little nudge away off the pads up towards mid-on for a single. Takes Croft to 5. 173 for 4.
Yeah, he's done his job beautifully there, Crofty. 2 balls, boundary and a single. That's what you want. You get the overseas import, Tim David on strike. Hitting now to the leg side with a very small boundary on the ground. As we see this field going back with deep cover, deep mid-off, deep backward point. 3rd man on the circle, but he's about 2nd slip.
Here's Kurt in the sunshine. Balls to David. Flicked away through the onside for 4 runs.
He hasn't hit that, has he? There was a push into mid-wicket, forward to square, and it just raced away to the boundary. Beautifully timed. Minimum of fuss, minimum of effort, and maximum, well, not quite maximum result for Tim, but he'll take the boundary. Hayden Kerr, a little bit expensive. You know, he's come over with big raps, having a breakout season, the Big Bash with the Sydney Sixers. Just finding his feet in county cricket.
He's back into Tim David, lashing the ball away through the offside for 4 more. Well, a flick off the pads through the onside for 4. And he's drilled that away through the offside for another 4.
Yeah, the classic boxes 1-2. Boundary on the onside off the front foot, and then there was a wide delivery. It's not a bad delivery in bowling to his field, but Tim David equal to the task, using that long reach that he has. Beautiful square drive, 4 runs.
Just not enough fielders.
You're always one man short, aren't you? I always used to think that when I was captain. You're always one man short.
Could just do with someone there. Kerr to David again. Doesn't quite time this one as he tries to hammer it away into the offside. Little bottom edge, bounces back down the pitch. And Kerr's done 4 overs, 1 for 45. It's a batter's pitch at Emirates Old Trafford tonight, and there'll be a few perhaps bruised bowling figures. 3 to go, 181 for 4.
Yeah, it's intimidating too, bowling to Liam Livingston in a obviously very hungry for runs. You know, he started well last night, kick-started his campaign really, and then followed it out tonight. And when you see the ball disappearing, not just over the rope, but almost out of the ground, it's intimidating running into bowl, thinking, please don't hit me that far. But, you know, Derbyshire, to their credit, they've hung in, they haven't dropped. You know, their fielding's been okay, hasn't been poor. So they're still out there fighting as well. We see Scrimshaw back in, been impressed with him, big tall lad, and bowls with good pace.
Well, a couple of good bouncers, didn't he, earlier on?
Yeah. Don't mind the sniff. It's all right sitting here. Never liked it out in the middle.
Could well imagine. 1 for 23 from his 2 overs. Croft just steers that away through the offside for 1. Clever that, is it, from Croft? Get a single, get your main man back on strike.
Well, David, you know, he's on 9. Is that 9 or 5?
Yeah.
So he hasn't really got going. He's only been out there 5 balls, but the 2 boundaries in the last over, 2 quality shots. And I said it before, you know, there was a couple of shots over cover, but beautifully executed. There's room in this cricket for proper cricket shots. You still get good reward for them. You don't have to play all the fancy stuff. It's nice if you can do. But when you're 6'6", built like a wardrobe, and you can hit it as far as Tim David, I'd be looking to hit it back at the grandstand.
Just nudges this one off his hip instead and goes scampering through for a single, and turns and comes back for 2. And you called it straight away, there should be 2 there, and Tim David was alert to it as well. He knew there was a second.
Once again, that conundrum for the fielder out there on the rope. Does he come in and save the 2, or does he hang back and stop the 6? I mean, at the moment, you know, 184 runs on the board off 17.2 overs. You'd probably be happier going for 2 rather than letting a boundary 6 go. And if you're on the rope, you've got a chance of taking the catch.
184 for 4. Scrimshaw to David, off the back foot, trying to pull it through the onside, but it just deflects away into the offside. Picked up by the bowler, no run.
I wonder if he was just through that a bit earlier. I hope we get that on the replay. But a short ball, it's got to be short to get up around his shoulders, Tim David. And it's hit him on the back of the arm. Yeah, he's just around the back of the bicep on the bottom on the back arm. So he's got through the ball, I reckon. Maybe a slow ball bouncer.
Scrimshaw, good start to this over for him. Balls to David. Just a single here, just clipped off the hip down towards fine leg. Takes him on to 12. 185 for 4. 3 runs off the first 4 balls, and Scrimshaw's done well. This is the 18th over. There's a lot of pressure on this, and there's 2 guys here that want to hammer it out the ground if they can.
Yeah, I don't know why, but the 19th always seems to cause a problem, whether you're setting it or bowling first or bowling second. The 19th over always seems to be the hardest one to bowl.
Scrimshaw to Croft. Rocks back and tries to pull it down to fine leg, where Watt comes up to field. Croft gets a single.
That's got him on the head. That's got him on the head, hasn't it? I think.
Come off the helmet.
The bouncer. I think the umpires are calling for the physio to run out. Sam Byrne obliges. Wouldn't have hurt Crofty. It's probably the best place to hit Crofty.
It's kind of the mandatory check if you get struck on the helmet, just to make sure it's okay and you're okay.
I'll just check the ball first and see if that's okay. No, it's a good thing, you know, because there have been incidences when, you know, players get hit and they do lose, you know, their bearings, and I've seen a few guys wobbly on their feet, and it's not a nice thing. You see it in, well, I'm a rugby league fan. You see it in rugby league quite a bit with a head knock and a player losing their feet, and it just doesn't look right. And it's happened a few times on a cricket field when I've been out there, and happened to me actually. I got hit in the side of the head, and I remember Alan Border walking up to me. I got hit in the head by Simon O'Donnell. He wasn't rated one of the fastest bowlers in world cricket. Hit me on the side of the head. I went down. He just looked over me and said, "Get up."
Scrimshaw in, balls to David. That's flashed over kind of backward point. 4 runs. Third boundary for Tim David. 190 for 4 now with 2 overs left.
He's got enough bat on that. Swung hard, tried to hit it out through cover. Got an outside edge, flew over short third man, and 4 more to Tim David. Stephen Croft's all right, by the way. He's fine, and he's ready to pick up the contest. As we see Connors, I think it is, coming back into the attack from the media centre end. This is the 19th over.
This is the tricky one, is it?
The short boundary.
Okay.
Not saying it happens every time, but
it's gone for 1 for 40 so far. Slow ball to start with. Just squirted away into the onside by Croft. Down towards the backward square leg boundary. Might think of a third, but no, just the 2. They're running back. What's the cut-off time? Well, they need to be in position to bowl the final over in 3 minutes. So
they should be okay, unless we get a few balls over
by the building site.
In their building site.
Croft on 9, 192 for 4. He's heaved out towards that leg side boundary. It's gone for 6.
There's one. One into the building site on the bounce. But it is just something about the 19th over. Every game that you watch or you've been involved in, it's always been the over that's been the hardest to bowl. Good shot from Croft. Back of a length, slower ball, and just heaved it into the offside, muscled it over the rope for 6.
2 away from getting 200 here, Lancashire Lightning.
There
this might be it, yeah. Hammered through extra cover. Well stopped, but they will come back. They might even think of a third, and they do come back for 3.
Great running. Great awareness from Steve Croft too, knowing that 200 up now on the board, but knowing that Tim David has only got a couple of balls left to try and clear that short boundary, get the big fella back on strike. So great awareness from Steve Croft.
Croft 18 from 7, David 16 from 9. Type of return you want, isn't it? If you're just coming in at this stage of a game, that's ideal.
Exactly. You want to get your run rate or your strike rate up as a batsman. You want to be striking above 150 plus.
3 balls left of the 19th over. David on strike. It's going to be signalled a wide, I would think. It is. Umpire spins round, arms outstretched.
So it's a tough game for the bowlers, isn't it? I mean, Tim David's shuffling across outside off stump. Connors is throwing it wide to keep getting him to hit it to the big side, and he gets called for a wide.
In and balls again, a much straighter ball to David. Tries to flick it away through mid-wicket. They're just going to have to be a little bit careful here. Connors is jogging back. They've got 2 balls to get through with a minute left before the cut-off time. So just the reason why the ball was jogging back to his mark. David on 16. Here comes Connors in and balls wide again, swing and a miss. And through to the keeper. No, we're on dot ball, we should be fine.
Yeah, Tim David asking the umpire just to reconsider. But no, well bowled.
This is his last ball of the night. 1 for 52 for Connors, who's in to David, and that's sent through the onside. There's 2 coming round. Oh, it lands in between the pair of them, and it's going to go for 4. To the delight of the Lancashire supporters, the despair of the Derbyshire fielders. 2 after it, neither got to it in the end, and it went for 4.
For a moment there, I thought it was going to be a horrible collision, that 2 fielders with their eye on the ball converging. Luckily, that wasn't the case, but unfortunate for Derbyshire. I think it was Wayne Madsen made great ground to get to it, just couldn't quite hang on to it.
And the umpires are just having a chat here. You need to be in position to start this final over within the cut-off period.
Well, the only people who aren't in position are the umpires.
Well, I think they were pretty much done, weren't they? They were okay.
No, they're okay.
Here's Scrimshaw to Croft for the final over. Rocks back, pulled away through the onside. Does it clear the man? Oh, it does. Don't think it quite clears the rope. Think it might be a 4, but yeah, it's signalled as a 4. But Croft got it over the deep mid-wicket fielder. 210 for 4.
That's the hard part. It's a massive boundary. If he stood on the rope, that was an easy catch, but in trying to save the 2, couldn't quite get it back. Croft gets it over his head, still inside the rope. It's a coach killer.
It's quite a few times you've spotted that now, and that's happened. It's such a tricky position to be in. Croft, oh, that is absolutely belted down the ground for 6. He has just clubbed it, muscled it, Stephen Croft. Out towards the long-on boundary. 6 more to him, 216 for 4.
It's a line drive centre field, that baseball style. Way back. He's just swatted it back over straightish mid-on. That's a great shot. No fielders back, both mid-on and mid-off are up. Croft spotting that and just using his baseball swing and smoked it into the old pavilion. Great batting.
Just keeping an eye on what potential the highest totals might be in T20 cricket for Lancashire. As in the end, Scrimshaw fights back and gets his man. Croft has gone. He's been bowled for 28. Lancashire lose their 5th wicket. Croft the man out, going for another big hit.
Scrimshaw held his nerve there, still came in, smashed it into the pitch, back of a length. Croft got an inside edge onto the stumps, and he's out, but a very valuable innings of 28 off not very many. Danny Lamb makes his way out to the crease, and I just saw Tim David gesturing to the dugout, suggesting that maybe Luke Wood, left-handed batter, or Tom Hartley come out and utilise the last couple of balls hitting towards a smaller boundary. But I think Danny Lamb, he's an innovative player. He gets balls in, hits the ball in different areas, different parts of the ground, not in the usual parts. I think his main job is to get down the other end, get Tim David on.
Stephen Croft in the end, Stuart, 28 off 10 deliveries, 2 4s, 2 6s.
Well, you can't, in this form of the game, that's what you want your lower order players to come in and do that towards the end, and particularly after the start they got. It gives them free rein, and to go at 280, that's not too bad, is it?
New bails required. I think the others were smashed up. Scrimshaw to Lamb. And that's pulled away into the onside. It'll drop towards the edge of the circle. He's got to run. He's got David back on strike. 217 for 5. Just mentioned that some of the highest T20 scores that Lancashire have got, they're short of their highest. 231 for 4 against Yorkshire in the year they won the competition in 2015.
It's always good against the Yorkies too, isn't it?
Scrimshaw to David. That's muscled out through the onside. It doesn't quite get a hold of it right out the meat of the bat. He's going to come back for a second. The throw comes into the keeper, Brooke Guest. And he has squeezed out 2. He's on to 22. 219 for 5 with 1 ball left.
Yeah, last ball of the innings, Tim David on strike. It's a free hit. Go for your life.
Swing and either hit it or run.
Well, he's going to try and put this into the point, I reckon.
Okay. Well, there's a few on the balcony of the point. So just keep your eyes out for this if you stood there watching. He's aiming that side. He's aiming leg side. Long on comes round. Takes a good catch. And the Derbyshire Falcons end with a wicket. That of Tim David. Going for that big hit out towards the point. And Lancashire finished 6 down on 219 for 6.
Yeah, it's a tremendous batting performance after winning the toss, knowing that they've got to put a big score on the board. The way they started was outstanding. Liam Livingston take a bow. He was brilliant. Cameos from Croft, Villas and Tim David. That's a pretty formidable total. 220 for Derbyshire to chase down.
Feels like a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot if you bowl well.
Put a slight understatement on it. That feels like a lot. I mean, we know that you can chase big totals down, but that's a pretty mammoth effort to get.
And sometimes it can be exactly what the batting side needs. You know, okay, you got to score runs. You got to score them at a good rate. You got to go for broke, and you can go there and be free. You know, the mind's not cluttered with a 165 chase. You've almost got to start thinking about it. 220, no thought process. Just go out and hit the ball. See ball, hit ball, keep it clean. Your mind clear. Hit the ball where the fielders aren't. You just never know.
The problem with these big totals can be that if you have to go at it, you can't really not go at it, and you can get in a bit of a pickle when you do, if it's not your day.
You can, and I don't think there's any point just to sit around and try and eke out a, you know, for your net run rate and what have you. You've got to try and score as many runs as you can, and if you get to within, you know, the 4 overs and you need 50 to chase it down, you're in a very good position. I think you can't stop. If you get bowled out for 120 chasing 220, no shame in that.
I suppose that can happen. I mean, that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Well, it can, yeah, of course it can. And you know, you lose a wicket, all of a sudden panic can set in. If you lose another one straight away, it just sends a panic through the dressing room. What Derbyshire now need is calm heads at the top, and they've got that with Shan Masood. He's the anchor. Other players just come in and bat around him.
I'm looking forward to watching him bat as well.
Yeah, well, he's a beautiful batsman. He classic style and left-handed, beautiful long languid stroke play he's got, and he's played a lot of T20 cricket. PSL he excels in. He's different. You know, he a bit like Keating Jennings, goes about it a different way to say a Liam Livingston, but he's very effective.
And just what we've seen there, Lancashire's attack is not entirely exclusively spin. It's heavily kind of centred around it, certainly the middle overs. Would you expect still, not much turn there, but would you expect Hartley, Parkinson, Livingston to play some of a big role to play here?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they've been, that's their go-to. Tom Hartley can open the bowling as well. Livingston has opened the bowling. Parky bowls to the field out, bowls to the bigger boundaries. Having said that, they've got quality seam attack as well. Gleeson's been on fire so far this year. Been out with injury. He's come back in. You know, and he's that final over against Yorkshire, last ball wicket to get the tie. You know, that takes courage to do that, and I'm looking forward to watching him bowl because he's a big unit as well. He gets them down, and I love watching nasty fast bowlers. They're great fun.
And he's been bowling it pretty quickly.
Great.
Yeah, which is what you want on a bit of pace, a bit of extra fire.
Amen, yeah. And if it does start spinning, or it's harder to hit the spin, you know, Tim David can bowl off spin as well. So, you know, Lancashire have got options, and they've got, you know, different types of spin covered. Left arm spin with Tom Hartley. They've got leg spin with Livy and Parky. And, Livy can bowl off spin as well. Tim David can bowl off spin. Stephen Croft can bowl off spin. So, you know, it's a pretty flexible and varied attack.
Okay, we'll see if it's enough. We'll see it. This sounds almost ridiculous to say. We'll see if 219 is enough for Lancashire Lightning. A brilliant 75 from Liam Livingston, 34 for Keaton Jennings, 34 for Dane Villas. Great contributions from Tim David and Stephen Croft as well. The Derbyshire Falcons here at Emirates Old Trafford have been set 220 to win.
Well, many thanks to Scott and to Stuart and to Alex as well, who was part of that commentary team, bringing us 219 for 6. That is the 5th highest score for Lancashire in T20 cricket over the years, and 3 of the top 5 came against Derbyshire. So they like playing against this team, particularly here, and it happened again today, Alex.
It was brilliant, wasn't it? It was fantastic to watch. We did say in the build-up that with that short boundary over towards the construction site that Lancashire could quite easily get 200, and they did. They went out there, played with aggression. It was just really good to watch today.
It was really entertaining, particularly those moments that you would have seen if you were watching at home when the ball did go into the construction site and you just saw the hard hats bobbing along as they chased around and tried to fight each and every occasion. But that's exactly what Derbyshire will try and do as well, because they appreciate it's their weapon as well.
Yeah, they will, and they know they've now got to go out and they've got to play with freedom. You know, you don't chase down a target of 220 without being aggressive. I think they have to try and take advantage of the power play, only having 2 fielders outside that 15-yard circle, 30-yard circle. 15 would be a challenge. But yeah, they've just got to go out there and play with aggression and do their best to get 220.
Now, talk to me about Liam Livingston, because he has been, you know, he came back from his travels all over the world, particularly the IPL latterly. He played the Yorkshire game on basically 24 hours notice. He's been scratching around for form, the odd big hits in amongst that, but he has, has he played himself into it because of some of those ridiculous second-tier efforts during that innings? Somebody like Liam Livingston, you know when they're scratching around, it just takes 1 or 2 shots and they're back in form. He had a brilliant IPL out in India, and he just got off a plane, so you can sort of forgive him for the way he played against Yorkshire. Yes, he got 20 odd in quick timing, but today that was the Liam Livingston that everybody turns up to watch. People here today will have bought a ticket to watch him bat, and he put on a show. 75 off just 40 deliveries, and yes, genuinely, and I appreciate the pitch was slightly to one side, so that second tier is a little bit closer, but do not doubt for a second that they weren't absolutely huge hits. And we spoke about the top order as well a little bit earlier on, didn't we, Alex? And mentioned Keaton Jennings. He was on fire from the very first ball. In fact, Phil Salt, who was supposed to be the gun hitter at the top of the order, had 8 deliveries, just 8 deliveries in that power play. He got pretty frustrated that Keaton Jennings was hogging the strike, but he did some good stuff with it. He's reached 1,000 runs for Lancashire in T20 cricket during that innings. He's one of those players that we talk about going under the radar, but yet he's been so consistent for Lancashire. And what I really like about the dynamic between Salt and Jennings is they're both adaptable. So Salt realised today that Jennings was on. You get days as a T20 batter. Today was Jennings' day. So Salt just let him go, said, you know what, you go, you play with freedom, I'll sit back and I'll watch. Yes, I'm not getting any of the strike, but it's a team game and you've done exactly what the team needed. And final point is about how Derbyshire go across this massive, great big ravine that they're going to try and traverse with 220 needed, because if Lancashire do try and squeeze, which is essentially how they do things with those spinners, they've got so much more confidence and so much more insurance. Yeah, I think they've just got to go out and play with freedom. It's obviously a really good wicket. We saw that the Derbyshire bowlers tried to bowl wide Yorkers, but kind of ended up just bowling wide in the slot. I think Lancashire will learn from that and try and go wide Yorkers to defend that short leg side boundary. Alex, thank you very much indeed. Enjoy the chase on commentary. She'll be back later with Scott. But first of all, we want to find out where Carla is, because she's somewhere in amongst us here.
So I'm here in the sportsbreak.com stand, and at 219, been quite a good first innings, hasn't it?
Yeah, excellent. Good start from Phil Salt and Keaton Jennings. Got off to a good start, and then obviously Liam Livingston in the middle. Great knock. Finished off well with some good boundaries. Yeah, good score.
Yeah, so fingers crossed. We definitely should keep this one, get it through to the win. Now, you guys have got some of the best seats in the house. What is the sort of cricket and the day at the cricket for you guys?
Well, anything to keep her entertained, really, for where we're sitting. She's really enjoying it. We've got the women to come later as well, so it's even better.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
And are you enjoying it? Yeah, you've got your little cricket bat I saw as well before, and you give him a wave. Oh, you got oh, and that was a lovely little blow of a kiss. Thank you very much. So, guys, you definitely are going to be enjoying the rest of your afternoon here, I'm sure, aren't you?
100%.
Yeah. Got the picnic hamper to come as well. Got free drinks, so yeah, we're going to enjoy them later.
Yeah, what a day of the cricket is all about, and we're going to find a little bit more about Sports Break now.
Hi, I'm Keaton Jennings, a batter at Lancashire Cricket Club, and we are here on the sportsbreak.com terrace at Emirates Old Trafford. And as you can see behind me, we're really close to the pitch. We've got sofas, park benches, and a lovely bar in the corner. Emirates Old Trafford will be absolutely bouncing during every game day, so come down with sportsbreak.com and enjoy your day.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate that. Might call you in again if they are. Thank you. Joel, which stand are you in?
So look what it will be for Lancashire Lightning, the England one-day international. Called up just yesterday, got the phone call, Luke Wood, on his way to Trent Bridge from England to say, congratulations, you're part of our tour of the Netherlands. And didn't he bowl well last night? And he's going to come steaming in again to start the first over of the reply. Masood on strike. And he gets a run straight away, just worked away off the pads down towards that wide third man boundary. And he gets a single. I really am looking forward to watching Shah Masood bat for Derbyshire. He's had a terrific year, white ball and red ball cricket. Our colleagues who are working in the box next door for BBC Radio Derby have been, as you'd understand, eulogising over the way that Masood has batted this season. He looks like a fabulous player. So Derbyshire are one without loss in the first over. Here's Luke Wood, left arm over. Oh, blimey, that balloons up into the offside. It lands safe of Lewis Rees. Try and play that, Lewis Rees.
Gee whiz, that's quick. Luke Wood, only a little man, but he got that to climb steeply off a length. Lewis Rees, he's actually done well to get bat on it.
Good afternoon and welcome to Emirates Old Trafford.
Yeah, good evening.
Dearie me.
Lewis Rees would be walking out thinking, this is a flat wicket, I'm looking forward to just get a couple in the middle, I'll be away, and he gets a ripped snorter first ball.
Gets one in and around the chin. Slip in place. Woods in again. Oh, it's yet again. And Rees has got the ball down safely away into the offside, and he's off strike as well, but he's had two absolute snorters. Stephen Croft with a big smile on his face. What two deliveries to get first up?
Well, he hasn't known much about either of those. Luke Wood, you know, I've had a bit to do with him during the winter, and he gets the ball through at for a little man, he gets the ball through at good pace, and those two have just climbed off a length, which you can see here at Old Trafford. It does bounce, and there is good pace in it. You've got to put it in to get it out, and he's definitely putting it in.
Masood on strike, who's just been watching those two from the other end. Gets a fuller ball, flicked away off the pads out towards the onside. Says thank goodness for that. Moves on to 2, and Derbyshire Falcons are 3 without loss.
Yeah, Lewis Reese is probably thinking, well, why are you getting the pies and I'm getting the Jaffers?
What have I done to upset Luke Wood?
My Wood, yeah. Great start from Luke Wood. You want to set the tone with defending him. It's a big total, let's face it, but you want to set the tone with the first over, and he's done that beautifully so far. He's got 2 balls here to finish off.
3 without loss. Wood bowls again, and Reese rocks back and pulls the ball away towards Liam Livingston for 1 run, and moves on to 2. 4 without loss. I mean, Luke Wood received his England call up on the way down last night. Got a call in the car. He thought it was Tim David calling him, he said. Turned out it was England saying, you've been called up.
He saw I was talking to Woody as well, and he saw the +61 thing, and that's an Aussie number, so Tim David's, you all right, Cook? It was Matthew Mott. Oh dear.
Quickly change your tone, don't you then?
He's lucky Matthew Mott's a pretty calm, cool character.
Balls again, but down the leg side, and Salt does get a bit of a glove on that. They've got through, and there's a bit of bat on it. There's a run. That's the end of the first over. 5 without loss. Masood 3, Reason 2.
Sorry, mate. That's a great save from Phil Salt as well. That could have raced away for 4 and finished the over with, instead of having 5 on the board, it could have been 8 on the board, which is a totally different context. But good start from Luke Wood. You're at Lewis Reese twice in the gloves in 2 balls. Made a statement, and that's what they needed to do. Come out and do that in 5 off the first over. Brilliant start from Lancashire. But Shan Masood, he's looking pretty cool at the other end, isn't he? I've seen him play a few times international cricket for Pakistan, and he's just a beautiful batsman to watch. Just so much time. He plays good cricket shots, particularly in this format. Doesn't look to overhit the ball, just find a gap, hits it to the boundary. So he's someone that Derbyshire can bat around. He can anchor the innings.
Yeah, 25 test matches for Pakistan. Experienced player. Here's Gleeson tearing his way in and bowling a short ball, but down the leg side, short and quick, but down the leg side and signalled as a wide by the umpire.
Well, I love this. Now, great sitting here watching that. That's good pace. That you don't often see that in county cricket often, and when you do, it really stands out. And the last couple of games, he's really started to find his feet. He's got his confidence up sky high, and that's why he's getting his pace up as well.
Masood waits, Gleeson bowls, and that's disappeared to the right of Phil Salt, the keeper, off a little either glove or bottom edge down towards the fine leg boundary for 4.
Yeah, underneath edge on the swivel pull. Not really in control of it, but enough bat on it to get it down to the boundary. Wide of Phil Salt, and split Salt and Wood. 4 more to Masood.
It's on to 10 in 25 test matches, averaging just a shade under 30 in test match cricket. 4 centuries in those 25 games as well. He's played 1-day international cricket. As Gleeson bowls to him, it's pulled, controlled pull, out towards deep square leg for a single. Moves on to 8, 11 without loss. Good signing for Derbyshire, who are enjoying a good year, actually. Derbyshire.
Yeah, and that's what, you know, he and Masood and Mickey Arthur worked together while Mickey was coach of Pakistan. So there's good rapport there already. It's a good partnership. And all that Mickey is trying to do is just keep standards high, raise the standards from where they were, and to be able to maintain that, will start bringing success.
Reese waits for Gleeson. He's in and bowling. Oh, that's an edge down towards the boundary. It's at third man for 4. And Lewis Reese says, you know what, I've been battered already. I'm going to take a top edge down to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, both his fingers are screaming at him, so he said, I'm not going to defend anymore, I'm going to swing at it. He got a toe of the bat on that one, and it flew well over Phil Salt for 4 down to third man. That's what can happen, though. The faster you bowl in this game, the faster you can disappear to the boundary. That's not a bad ball. It was a not well executed shot, but it still got 4 runs.
15 without loss halfway into the third. The target's pretty substantial. It's 220 to win. Gleeson's in. Oh, Rees again pivots back, trying to pull the ball. That catching him somewhere in the midriff. Drops away into the offside for no run. Well, it's a bit of a battering, this, isn't it? And this is serious pace from both ends, from Gleeson and from Wood. It's a wonderful contrast Lancashire have got, because they've got, at the minute, they've got these two quick bowlers, it's kind of express pace, and then you've got the guile and the cheekiness and subtleness of the spinners as well. It's a wonderful combination.
No, it is, and the faster you bowl up front brings those spinners and makes them more difficult to bat against.
Gleeson to Rees. Oh, it's a really clever shot. Flicked away for 6. Up over his shoulder from Rees. Inventive stuff. Down towards the fine leg boundary for 6.
That's the innovation we see in this game now. Players aren't frightened to get down on one knee, the scoop shots and what have you. That was probably ended up being a shin high fully, but to get it over fine leg, to manoeuvre your body in that position takes some courage, particularly when you've been hit twice, you've top edged a pull shot. Takes some courage.
21 without loss. Gleeson to Rees. That's a handsome looking drive. Villas will chase after it out towards that wide long off boundary. That's a beauty for Lewis Rees, and the score moves on to 25 without loss.
Yeah, we go from one extreme to the other, don't we? The innovation of T20 cricket back to a perfectly executed straight cover drive. Fantastic shot from Lewis Rees. He's away now. He's probably put those fingers on ice, thinking, okay, I can't feel them, they're numb. I'm just going to start playing some shots, and finish the over beautifully for Derbyshire.
With the ramp, clearly there is an awful lot of risk to your own personal well-being involved in it. But in terms of a shot, it's actually relatively safe, isn't it? Because the two fielders are inside the circle at fine leg and third man. Yeah,
in that respect it is. I wouldn't know, because I never played it. I never even dreamt of playing shots like that. No, it's an amazing skill set that these, and they don't just do it, they practice it as well. And you're right, if you can execute it well, I've seen Lewis Rees do it before, with both, you know, the third man and the fine leg on the circle, there's no one behind. You've only got to hit it 40 metres, and it's over the top for 4 runs. You don't have to hit it for 6, and these days it goes for 6.
So 2 overs of pace, 2 overs of Luke Wood and Richard Gleeson coming in and trying to hit the batter hard. And now we're going to see some spin in this power play. The third over will be bowled by Liam Livingston.
We've seen bowling is, well, traditionally your bowl is off spinners to the left-hander, taking it away. They're hitting to the big boundary. You can mess it up by bowling a leg spinner as well.
In and bowling to Masood. He's off the back foot, chopping away into the offside. It's well guarded. There could be a run-out chance. It should be well gone. He is. What a mess. Masood trying to force it away into the offside. There's loads of Lancashire shirts. I think one of them, Stephen Croft, who picked it up and threw in, and Masood was a million miles out of his ground.
Yeah, we see it loosed it from Liam Livingston. A great cut shot. Lack of communication. Stephen Croft fumbled it in the field, but didn't fumble it away from his body. It was pretty close to him. He just picked up, threw it back to Phil Salt. And Masood was, well, he's at least 5 yards out. That's a massive wicket for Lancashire, and big problems now for Derbyshire. Their main man, who's been scoring all the runs, is now out.
Oh, that was an almighty mix-up, that, wasn't it? Chasing a total of 220. You don't want to run out in the first delivery of the third over.
And Lewis Rees quite right. It wasn't a run in it. You know, Masood saw the misfield. The old adage, never run on a misfield, particularly when it's Stephen Croft, and it's only gone 2 yards away from him. He's quick enough to get back on it, and he's got a great arm, Steve Croft. He hardly misses the target. Put it straight into Phil Salt's gloves, and Salty did the rest.
Harry Khan, the new batter, to join Rees. And Masood, who I've got to say, I was looking forward to watching bat. But Lancashire will be thrilled he's not there anymore.
The wait goes on.
He's their top run scorer in the Blast this season, but his work, I'm afraid, he's done from Derbyshire's point of view.
Ooh.
This is defended. It just bounces outside the off stump, and it finds its way to Phil Salt. And there's no run.
So a lot resting on Lewis Rees' shoulders now. He's been, you know, a very experienced player. He's been very good in this format.
down the pitch, worked away into the onside for a single. 26 for 1. Yeah, Rees on 16 from 7. He's an experienced player now, isn't he, Lewis Rees? I still think of him being quite a young guy when he was here at Lancashire, but he's played a lot of cricket now. And
he's been the backbone of Derbyshire for a number of years now, and even at one stage he was opening the bowling as well as opening the batting. He got his money's worth, didn't he, every game.
Livingston balls to him. He's asking if that's an LBW. The ball just deflects away into the offside. It's a cheeky smile on the face of umpire Tim Robinson, isn't it?
That's clever bowling from Livy. He just pulled the pin and gave that absolutely no pace whatsoever. Bamboozled the batsman.
In again, gives himself a bit of space this time and cuts away into the offside. Again, a little hesitation. Tom Hartley's on his backside to field it. They do get through for a single. 27 for 1. 1 ball left of the 3rd. So we're in the power play, and Lancashire have got spin into their game early on with Liam Livingston after a fiery start from Gleeson and Wood. The back foot and worked away towards mid-wicket. It's the end of Livingston's first over. He's managed to create the run out. He's gone for just the 3 runs. 3 gone, 28 for 1.
That's
a good 220.
A good settling over as well after Gleeson head in bowling fast, went for 20, and you think Derbyshire can get on a bit of a roll here, and the run out helps definitely, but then to only go for 3 runs in that over is great work from Liam Livingston, but just showing all his experience and class. He loves the big stage. He loves performing in front of a crowd, and it's quite a decent crowd in today. It's not packed by any stretch, but still decent sized crowd in to enjoy what they've seen so far, and so far it's all been Lancashire.
I think it was 9,000 tickets had sold prior to kind of the gates opening, and hoping for a few extra coming in. Buy a ticket, you get to watch both games, so whether everyone comes for the first, then it thins out, or people can say, oh, get the back end of the first match and watch the second evening game. I don't know how they work it, or obviously watch them both ideally. Here's Wood bowling. He's back into the attack from the Jimmy Anderson end. That's a flick just off the hip down towards fine leg for a single. The score moves on to 29 for 1.
Yeah, Luke Wood flipped around now. He's bowling to Lewis Rees, who has got that short boundary on the leg side. So any length balls, I'm sure that he won't be getting hit in the gloves anymore. He'll be trying to put it over those diggers into the building site.
Well, the diggers have been in danger so far today. There's 2 guys in high-vis jackets and helmets in the building site. They've been busy looking for cricket balls as well. Wood in and balls to Rees, over the top of short third man, down towards the boundary for 4.
Luke Wood is giving Rees a bit of width outside his off stump, and he's just throwing the kitchen sink at that. Didn't go where he intended. But once again, it's not about how, it's how many, and they've got it over short third man for 1 bounce, 4 runs.
Parkinson inside the circle at short third man, way over the top of his head. And, 4 runs for Rees, so he's on to 21. It's created a change to the field. Parkinson was jogging back towards the boundary at third man, but then he's called back inside the ring. So they've got a deep backward square leg and a deep mid-wicket. Here's Wood for Lancashire Lightning. Balls. Rees tries to take it on, trying to clear mid-off, and does. Villas running backwards, trying to get into position to take the catch. Lewis Rees comes back for a second. He moves to 23. 35 for 1.
Great bowling from Luke Wood, hitting the pitch really hard on the back of a length. Rees trying to hit that over mid-off for dead straight. They kept Dane Villas, the captain of Lancashire, very interested for quite some time. He made a lot of ground. Just got it over the top of his head, so absorbing contest.
Wood bowls again, muscled out through the onside by Lewis Rees for a single. 24 to him, 36 for 1. What I was pleased to see, Stuart, about that piece of fielding from Dane Villas is that we've had a few incidents already with the trousers coming down from Lancashire players, and that was one of the moments where I'm thinking maybe Dane Villas might lose them, but maybe he's just got them a little bit tighter.
Has he put a drawstring in them?
Maybe he has.
That's why I thought they came with drawstrings to stop them from falling down.
We've had a couple of trouser issues.
I've seen that.
Wood in, balls again. Swing and a miss, and through to Phil Salt, and there's no run.
Great bowling from Luke Wood, using the big boundary, tempting Harry Kane to try and pull it into the leg side. Liam Livingston's prowling out there behind square, deep on the rope. It's got to be a big hit to get it anywhere near where he's standing. And through the keeper harmlessly. Dot ball. They're like gold dust dot balls in these situations. I mean, we keep talking about how big the total is, but if Derbyshire get one boundary away, then all of a sudden the flow can come. Once you get on a flow, very difficult to stop it.
Final ball of the 4th over. It'll step to leg side. Glorious looking shot, sliced away, just a fraction behind square for 4 runs. That is a lovely back foot shot to take Derbyshire at the end of the 4th onto 40 for 1.
He's played that back foot drive through point from outside leg stump. He had to back away to get the ball into that area and executed it perfectly. That's a beautiful shot. Short boundary, but it raced into that fence.
4 overs gone, 40 for 1. It's a big target for Derbyshire Falcons. They've just got to keep going.
Yeah, they're not far away. They're going at 10s, and that's all they need to do and get out of this power play. The crucial thing in this power play, yes, they've still got to go at a fair clip, but if they can't lose too many wickets. If they lose 3 wickets, the contest almost over.
See on the worm that kind of navigates the pattern of the 2 innings. Pretty much level at the minute. Here's Gleeson in and bowling. And that's driven away into the onside. Should be a couple there, I think. Yep, comfortably 2.
Yeah, the difference came from Lancashire's perspective when Liam Livingston started to find his groove, and a couple of big hits. As we said, we nearly put one into the tram station behind the Brian Statham end, and as Derbyshire got someone who can do that, maybe not that way, they may have to do it differently.
Reese 26 not out, Gleeson is in.
Oh,
it's a Yorker on off stump, which he brings the bat down and squirts it away behind square on the leg side. Gets a single, moves to 27, 43 for 1. Good pick up and throw there from Liam Livingston.
Yeah, threw that was a rocket, wasn't it? A rocket arm. Very flat, straight into Phil Salt. Yeah, and Derbyshire have. They've got Louis Deploy. He can hit the ball in strange areas and score quickly, and he hits a big ball. Wayne Madsen, very experienced. Brooke Guest, he's been one that we've been told to look out for. He's got something special about him.
Gleeson bowls, and that's a really clever shot, ramped down towards the fine leg boundary for 4 runs, 47 for 1.
So this is another way. This is how they're doing it. Using the innovation, moving around the crease, making it difficult for Lancashire to line the batsman up. And we see Harry Kane. Nothing wrong with the delivery. Gleeson's probably pretty spot on. It's just a great shot, getting it over short fine leg for 4 runs. You don't have to hit it out of the ground for 6 every second ball. You can do it differently, and this is how this is the beauty of the game.
Gleeson, what's his response? He's back in the ball, and it's fallen, it's hit firmly down the ground towards him. I think he tries to deflect it onto the stump at the non-striker's end, just in case Lewis Rees was out of his crease. There's no run.
That's a great delivery, isn't it? Seeing the batsman, the ball before go across his stumps, hit a length ball over short fine leg. He's just run in and bowled a straight Yorker. Nailed it, no run. Perfect delivery.
It's a great story, Richard Gleeson. Back fully fit. He's had a wonderful start to the Blast this year. I'm sure it's perhaps even better than he could possibly have imagined himself. The ball is just back of a length. I mean, it's quick. Harry Kane trying to whack it away through the onside, but a play and a miss, and through to Salt.
You're sitting here and you're looking at Phil Salt take the ball. He's taking it. The ball's not really getting to him. But he's standing 25 yards back. He's standing a mile back. That's a long way. He's got some good pace. You're right, it is a great story. Battled injury. He burst onto the scene. He had a stint in the Big Bash as well, and it's great to see him backfiring.
Here he is again. Oh, and this is a clever shot from Harry Kane down towards that wide third-man boundary. Villas. No, Livingston with the dive. Took more of the rope. than he did of the ball. It's a good effort, though, from Livingston, trying to cut it off. Brings up the 50 for Derbyshire. They've made a really good start here. 5 overs gone, 51 for 1. We could be in for a thriller.
Yeah, just beautiful batting, just using the pace of the bowling, not smashing it over in front of the wicket, using the pace and getting it behind the wicket, but finding the gaps. Well, that's difficult. You know, Liam Livingston's a good fielder and he's fast across the ground. He had no chance of stopping that one.
51 for 1. What an intriguing first 5 overs. What a terrific game of cricket we could have. Derbyshire trying to keep up with Lancashire's run rate and take this game as deep as they can. It's such a fascinating battle, isn't it? Because you need to try and take the game deep. You need wickets in hand, but you've got to keep up with the run rate, which then brings a few risky shots into it. But it's fascinating cricket. I'm going to see Tim David bowl. He's not had a bowl yet in the Blast this year for Lancashire, but he's in and bowling to Rees, who's driving for a single. He's on to 52 for 1 now, the Falcons.
He just bowls off spin regulation, no real tricks. He's comes from a very tall height, obviously, when he lets the ball go, but doesn't really spin the ball. It just changes his pace, subtle changes of pace. Now he's got the right hander hitting to the massive boundary on the leg side.
In and bowling, and that comes off an inside edge. Just squirts down towards Matt Parkinson, who I suspect will be into the attack himself at the end of this over. This is the final of the over of the power play. He'll be itching to have a ball, Matt Parkinson. He's always itching to have a ball.
He said he was tired this morning. I'm not sure why.
David in and bowls, and Rees trying to wallop it away through mid-wicket, but a swing and a miss.
Well, I say that sarcastically. Some of the boys only got in at 2 a.m. this morning after their game in Nottingham last night.
Still on the M6 at 1 o'clock this morning. Yeah, they shut it, which is lovely. Here's Rees looking to slog, sweep it away through the onside. Hartley puts in a good dive. And Rees comes back for a second. He's a tall lad, Tom Hartley. Needed all his height to reach it.
Yeah, he's a good fielder too, Tom. Great mover, very athletic. You see, reaching out with the right hand on the boundary rope, saving a certain boundary.
Rees a step to the leg side and cuts away through the off. The umpire's out the way of that, and it beats the 2 fielders, and it's 4 runs. And Rees for Derbyshire is on to 34, not out, 59 for 1.
And who would have thought he'd be here scoring the way he is after his first 2 deliveries? He nearly broke his hand twice in 2 balls. But he put that to the back of his mind, and he is the key with Shan Masood out. He's the key to get Derbyshire very, very close.
David in and bowls again, and Rees looking to sweep it away through the onside, but doesn't get a hold of it. And for a second he may have been a little bit anxious that ball was ricocheting towards his stumps, but no damage done. End of the 6th over, end of the power play. That it's a 59 for 1. The fact it's just 1 is good news for Derbyshire Falcons, and 60 on the board effectively is pretty good stuff.
It is, yeah. To go at 10 and over when they've got to keep up with 10 and a halves and over, they're not far away. The key is only 1 wicket down. If they had lost 3 wickets in that power play and got to 55, it's an uphill task from there. But only the 1 wicket down. You've still got batters to come and good quality batsmen to come. It doesn't discount, Derbyshire. They're by no means they out of this contest at this stage. This is the play that Lancashire will be looking forward to, and Matt Parkinson coming on from the media centre end.
Great to have Stuart Law with us here, watching this T20 fixture. As Parkinson's in and bowling. And this is work by Harry Cam off the back foot, away through the onside for a single. 17 to him, 60 for 1 now. We will not be getting Alex Hartley in the second half of the game. She has a game to prepare for. The Thunder second up tonight, 7 o'clock start against the Southern Vipers in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. It's a double header, but of a different kind, with the Thunder side playing second and the men's Lightning team playing first. We'll bring you both games on the BBC Sport website and at BBC Radio Lancashire, Lancs TV. All watching this fascinating T20 game bubble up here as Lewis Rees sweeps away towards backward square leg for a single.
Where I come from too, the big storms, you normally have the Thunder before the Lightning.
other way around tonight.
No, it's great. It's great that the girls get an opportunity to play in the prime time slot.
Parkinson's in and bowling, and Harry Kane comes down the pitch and sends it over extra cover, and Liam Livingston's got plenty of ground to make up, and he gets to it too. It's a great effort from Livingston. They come hurtling back for 3, but Livingston's done ever so well to make up the ground there.
Yeah, those little plays too, the turning that could have easily gone for 4. It's only a 3, so he saves the 1 run. Those types of plays can go a long way to, you need got to win the contest by 1. That could be it.
Parkinson bowls again. Put off the back foot by Rees. Out through extra cover. Stephen Croftfield.
So a lot of people talk about Matt Parkinson. He doesn't bowl it fast enough. Well, sometimes you don't have to bowl it fast to be hard to hit. And on a good, true pitch like this one is, the batsman trying to make all the pace can be difficult. So it actually works in the fielding side's favour and Matt Parkinson's favour to bowl at the pace that he does. He bowls it at his pace.
Comes bouncing his way back in again, Parkinson, and just pulls away at the last moment. I think it's brilliant to watch. I think most leg spinners in T20 cricket fizz it in quickly, don't they? But I love it when he's willing just to float it up.
Dangle the carrot. If they're good enough, they can hit him.
And he comes again. This probably is a little bit flatter and quicker on that occasion. That was hammered away into the offside for a single.
Yeah, you don't mind that though. Last 2 balls of the over, you want to get out of your over. The talk about in the dressing room, the talk with the bowlers is you get into your over, and at the back end you've got to get out of it. That means don't go for many runs. Go for a single, get a dot ball if you can. So the easiest way to do that is to fire it in, bowl to your field.
She's swept by Rees. It's in the air, but it will land in front of Luke Wood, who's coming up from that deep backward square leg boundary. Matt Parkinson's first over goes for 8. 7 gone. The Derbyshire Falcons 67 for 1 after 7. The equation 153 off 78, but just the 1 wicket to fall is a really encouraging start for the Derbyshire Falcons, and I guess it just puts a bit of pressure and a few questions back on Lancashire Lightning.
It does, and they've got to maintain a healthy run rate from now until the end, but you know, they've got to start now targeting which bowlers they want to really put under pressure. And the way it looks like, they're going to target the seam bowlers, and in particular Gleeson, with his height, his pace, his bounce. I think we might see very little seam bowling till the end of it. After the first 2, well, Livingston went for 3 off his first over. Parkinson gone for 8.
Here is Livingston back in and bowling to Rees. Chopped the ball away, but a play and a miss and taken by Salt.
Yeah, power play done, so the 5 scouts are out at deep cover, deep mid off, long on, mid wicket, deep backward square.
Back in again, and Rees goes back, hits it firmly into the offside. Danny Lamb on his hands and knees on the used pitch, and maybe with a few scrapes and bruises to show for it, but he stops the ball.
He's got a new tattoo now, hasn't he? The gravel rash on the elbows. I used to get them many years ago. Didn't get too many around here. Yeah, it's horrible when you've got a field on the used wicket block and you've got to dive to save a ball. You just think, oh, I've got to get down from the teammates. Skin off the elbow. Stick to the sheets tonight.
Livingston in again. Oh, and I think Harry Kane will be stumped here. He will be. Came down, 1 step down the pitch, went for a big hit, missed it. Salt takes it and flicks off the bails, and Livingston with a smile on his face as that little partnership, which was good for the Falcons, comes to an end. 68 for 2.
Yeah, a little bit of turn, nothing much, but Livingston driving that into the pitch. And Harry Kane coming down the wicket, trying to hit it through backward point again. Just misses an easy stumping for Phil Salt, but enterprising little partnership between he and Lewis Rees. Not enough. I think the spin is the way to go now for the Lightning. I don't think we'll see too much pace. We might see 1 or 2 more overs, but they've got enough spin out there to finish the game with spin.
Yeah, this is the kind of classic Lancashire tactic, isn't it? It's kind of trial by spin all the way through these overs. You get through the first 6 and then you You've just got non-stop spin coming in different directions.
And particularly here at Old Trafford, where it does, favour the spinners, the bigger grounds, a little bit of turn, bit of hold on the wicket. The only time this theory might not work is against the West Indies in their pomp, as they absolutely, doesn't matter, not spinning much, they murder it. They hit it miles. Chris Gale would be trying to put Livingston into the hotel, probably even into the other Old Trafford. But good tactics from Lancs, they're using it well.
I mean, Madsen on strike, he just pulls away, actually, just whether something just was buzzing around his eye line, I'm not sure, or I think it probably was, from the looks of it. Two fielders behind Livingston on the boundary, long off and long on. There's a deep mid-wicket, deep backward square. Oh, and Madsen goes back and looks at cut and almost drags it back onto his stumps. Gets a run for it. He's off the mark with that.
And once again, Livingston is changing his pace. That was a quicker one. You've seen him bowl to Rees, bowling moon balls basically, no pace on him whatsoever.
Livingston to Rees, that's hit down the ground. Madsen flings himself back into his crease at the non-striker's end. And there was no run added. Back in comes Livingston, and again Rees looks to sweep. Up comes Tom Hartley from deep backward square leg. And just the single. Tidy stuff from Livingston, just the 3 runs off it, and the wicket as well. It's terrific for him. 2 overs, 1 for 6, 8 gone, 70 for 2.
Yeah, his confidence is sky high. He scored runs last night. He got a brilliant 74 today. And his first 2 overs here this evening have only gone for 6 runs. He's taken that wicket, so confidence is sky high. Brilliant fielding in the outfield as well. It's amazing what confidence can do. It is a confidence game. As soon as your confidence is high, your skills go through the roof, and you can entertain. And he's certainly an entertainer.
And those inside Emirates Old Trafford have been entertained so far today. It's a real festival of cricket taking place with a double-header later on. Second game to come. Parkinson in and bowling. Rees comes down and meets it and hits it firmly back towards him.
Is that a catch?
I think it probably was.
Say 4, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's probably more like it. It's kind of right place, right time, wasn't he? Block it. It was hit firmly back towards him. Again, Rees comes down, takes it on. Down towards long on. And it's gone for 6. Parkinson kind of pivoted round and looked down towards the boundary, which is down below us. Big hit. Clears long on. Up towards the steps in front of the Lancashire dressing room.
Courage from Parkinson, throwing that one up. Enticing the batsman to come down, and Lewis Rees obliged and pumps him straight for 6.
45 of 28, Rees. Looking to sweep, might get 50 here. He swept it behind square on the leg side, and he will come back for 2. No. So he moves on to 47 instead from 29 deliveries. 78 for 2, but already you just feel that this is key, isn't it? Rees is key here.
Definitely, yeah.
How far can he take it?
Shot.
Sweeps again, but would just stop it at backward square leg. But again, it's worth 2, so he's edging towards that 50 mark. He's up to 49. Derbyshire Falcons are 80 for 2. 2 balls left of the 9th over.
Yeah, it's good batting. Just milking Parkinson there. Hit him for 6 early. Not too many high-risk shots.
10 off the over so far. And Rees off the back foot gets himself a single and gets himself a 50. He got 2 absolute snorters from Luke Wood to start his innings, and he's gone on and got 50 runs. Brilliant effort. 81 for 2.
Yeah, he wasted those first 2, didn't he? Great knock. 50 not out. He's not even halfway there. He's got to do a big job for his team. He does hold the key between he and Lightning.
2 fielders in on the offside now. Inside the ring. Two short extra covers as Wayne Madsen's on strike. Parkinson's in and bowling. Madsen reaching for it and sweeping across that front pad. Croft spins around from the mid-wicket boundary, throws in. Oh, then it deflects away, and they'll get at least an extra run. Will just be the addition of 1. And that ends the 9th over. 83 for 2. Wayne Madsen's on 3 and Lewis Rees on 50. Live from Emirates Old Trafford. It's the T20 Blast fixture between Lancashire Lightning and the Derbyshire Falcons, and they've just dropped below where Lancashire were at a similar stage. But just the 2 wickets down, still in with a great chance here of taking this game deep.
This is when, for Lightning, Liam Livingston was going berserk. Derbyshire still not out of that over, 13 off that over. If they keep pulling out a 13 or a 15 run over every other over, they're going to be very, very, very close to where they need to be.
Tim David going to bowl his second over from the Jimmy Anderson end. Hit firmly by Rees towards the long off boundary. Livingston's there to cut it off, and Rees restricted to a single. Brings Madsen back on strike. Lancashire got a good recent record against Derbyshire in T20 cricket. They've won their last 4. All 4 games at different venues. How about that? Victories at Headingley, Liverpool, Emirates, Old Trafford and Derbyshire. There's a curveball for you. Tim David in and bowls to Wayne Madsen, who sweeps out towards deep backward square leg. And the score moves on to 85 for 2.
Headingley?
Yep. Lancashire played Derbyshire at Headingley a few years ago. I think it was during the COVID season.
Oh, right, okay.
That was part of a double header as well.
That would have hurt some of the Red Rose fans. Was it a home game for Lancashire?
I'm trying to remember if it was. I think it may have been Derbyshire's home match. Here's Rees. Oh, he's hit that firmly past the bowler, past the umpire, just for 1. 52 to him now, 86 for 2. Brings Madsen back on strike. But yeah, decent record Lancashire against Derbyshire. Here, in particular, at Emirates Old Trafford, 13 victories for Lancashire in the 18 times that they've played in at this venue. 5 wins for Derbyshire.
I played in a few of those, mate.
I think you would have done. Yeah, you would have done. Madsen looking to try and ramp it. Deflects off some part of Phil Salt. And he kind of goes wandering away. He's got a...
I think it's called the shoulder. It's maybe the chest.
He's got a bit of a grimace on his face, hasn't he?
That's horrible for the keeper when Madsen goes down and just tries to flip it straight over the keeper's head. And Phil Salt doing his best to stop it, but they still get a single.
87 for 2. Rees, good looking shot, swept with a bit of power out towards the onside, but just pick out his old teammate Stephen Croft. Rees on to 53, 88 for 2. Brings Madsen back on strike. Tim David bowling for Lancashire Lightning from the Jimmy Anderson end. Bowls around the wicket. Madsen clears that front foot and swing and a miss, and taken by Phil Salt to complete the 10th over. Halfway stage, Derbyshire Falcons, 60 balls left, need a further 132 runs to win.
Yeah, any other night, 88 for 2 off 10 overs. You're going okay. You're set pretty well, but right now, Derbyshire is starting to slide behind. It's going to take a monumental effort for them to get back up on par and go past. But Lancashire, here we go. The strangle continues. Tom Hartley now, the big, tall, young left-arm spinner, comes into the attack from the media centre end. And it's just more death by spin.
Yeah, it's never ending, isn't it?
I've still got Stephen Croft, who he hasn't bowled yet. He used to open the bowling for Lancs.
It's Hartley in and bowling, and Rees off the back foot sends it down the ground. Wants to come back for a second. That's good running. It's well run by Lewis Rees. He's got 2 there. He moves on to 55, 90 for 2.
Yeah, it wasn't bad fielding either. Liam Livingston had to make a lot of ground and fired another bullet.
Hartley around the wicket. Rees straight to long off. Tim David takes the catch. That's a big breakthrough for Lancashire Lightning. It's a real gem of an innings from Lewis Rees, but it comes to an end on 55, 90 for 2.
He got a good piece of it as well. Tim David, you've got to get it pretty well to get it over his head. Lewis Rees flat batted that hard. Not quite got the elevation. 10 foot high was 6 runs. But Tom Hartley picking up a wicket in his second ball. They made that look very easy.
It's very casual, wasn't it?
Very casual, very easy.
90 for 3, so Reece departs. It was good while it lasted for Lewis Reece. It was a great comeback after a bit of a battering in his first couple of deliveries that he faced. But 55 from 36, 4 fours, 2 sixes.
Well, a bit of ice on that top hand, I think. Luke Wood getting him 2 and 2 balls.
Elias deploy. Jones. Wayne Madsen. Hartley picking up his first wicket. His left arm, he's around the wicket. Duploy just nudges the ball out through the onside, just a little behind square. Gets himself his first run, 91 for 3. Gets Wayne Madsen back on strike.
They're just struggling to find the boundaries now, aren't they? Madsen hasn't found the boundary at this stage. He's only going to run a ball. They need to find the boundaries.
Hartley. Balls to Madsen. It's muscled away into the onside. David comes around from long on. Come back for a second. 93 for 3. Yeah, it feels a while since Derbyshire managed to find the ropes. And again, worked away towards the leg side once more. Croft's back in the game. Comes round to complete the fielding. 94 for 3.
Yeah, good start from Tom Hartley too. Just got to get out of this over without a boundary. Lewis deploy, he needs to find the boundary.
Gone for 6 so far. He's picked up the wicket. And he's trying to just scoop it over the keeper's head, is Duploy. He doesn't get it away. And that's a good over from Hartley. 1 over, 1 for 6. Good start for the left arm spinner for Lancashire Lightning. And you can see on the trajectory, the kind of, when you look at how the 2 innings are shaping up, Derbyshire now for the first time really substantially just trailing away from where Lancashire were.
Yeah, it's a tough you're on a hiding to nothing, chasing big totals, and once you get behind, it's a horrible feeling as a batsman because you know you can hit a boundary, but you can't find one at that time. And right now, Derbyshire need to find an over of 15 to 20 if they can. And it's going to have to be off spin because Liam Livingston's back into the attack.
2 overs, 1 for 6. Livingston. He's got a luxury of selections to choose from, hasn't he, Dame Velas, when it comes to spinners. Here comes Livingston to Madsen. He's looking to reverse it, try and clear the infield. It's an inventive piece of cricket. Doesn't find the boundary rope though. It is worth 2 runs. And he moves on to 10. And Derbyshire to 96 for 3.
He's looking for the reverse slog, wasn't he, there? Trying to hit it over cover for target that short boundary, trying to hit the 6.
Waits for Livingston. This time it's hit along through a straight mid-on for a single. On to 11, 97 for 3. Just that type of shot, Stuart, would that suggest that